That's
Hello.
And that's just how Sybil's gonna be tonight. Great.
And I might get drunk on top of that.
Hey.
If I'm being extra irresponsible.
All right, so we're back for another exciting episode of whatever you guys are gonna get into. So to do a brief recap, the group, after killing an archfey and breaking two of their companions out of the Fey prison, decided to make good on an escape from the Feywild.
Please don't say it like that.
While trying to escape the city of Malkiel, they were accosted by some sort of mysterious evil fog that was trying to enclose around them as they left. Thankfully, they were able to get away without really finding out what this cursed fog did, though Navori did experience a sort of a dead leg from briefly being exposed to it. Continuing on their way, the group made it back to Sigil, where they all had a well-deserved rest. After that, Ardania came over and doted on them a little bit, and some of the individual members had small tasks to take care of, like trying to moralize with oneself, seeing their mother, very basic stuff they hadn't gotten to do, having been gone seemingly a month. They then proceeded to shit, where'd it go? Sorry, my Google Doc closed.
amazing art.
Yes. Yeah. The group then proceeded to go spend money at Amazing Artifice. Meeting a young tiefling shopkeep by the name of Adem. He helped them look at some items, kind of play around with a few things, leaving the party with their purses lighter and pockets fuller with goodies. With, of course, the promise that they would look into some custom things for this group, so they should come back the next day. And that's about all the group accomplished for once, instead of breaking everything. So we're actually
they
going.
almost died falling off a cliff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just
Yeah.
glossed over that. That's fine.
I mean, that was the coolest part of last session.
Yeah. Anyway, we're glossing over that. Yes, Kess nearly died falling off a cliff, and thanks to Sybil's extreme heroics and perhaps stupidity, was able to save her nearly at the expense of herself and Maria, despite Maria not really understanding. Yeah.
There was some good teamwork there. Come
Yeah.
on.
There was
just
some good teamwork.
she'd just be there to be Rock. She did
Yeah.
her job.
Yeah. Earth, Genasi, Rock, same thing. So yeah, we're gonna pick up with you guys heading out of Amazing Artifices. It's a little later in the day now, which, you can't really tell by looking up, but
It's fine.
yeah, it definitely has the atmosphere of being around late afternoon, early evening. People in the streets milling around, leaving work, it looks like. People in strange three-piece suits that look like they're kind of ill-fitting. Others wearing long, elegant robes. You see an individual wearing what looks like an apron that is a size too large and summarily tripping over it and eating a cobblestone. The city is alive with people moving places. Where are you guys gonna go?
That is a question.
Oh, Child.
Yeah.
Maria's navigating towards Child.
Yes. Well,
Are you guys going to... I kind of want to check on my mate since it's been like a month, I guess. So I'm gonna go do that.
That makes sense.
Well, you're gonna like go to the guild afterwards.
Yeah.
yeah, probably we can be back up and figure out what we're doing next.
Hmm.
All right, I'm gonna go check on the money. Be back later.
All right.
I love
So
the
who's
money.
going where?
Navori's going to find wherever the heck all her shit friends are holed up at now, and to
Okay.
check on her pet mouse.
Okay. I think Tristan and Clive are going to check on their little child.
Tristan and Clive.
Sorry, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
Maria and Clive.
Tristan.
I mean, they're going to check
For
on
real,
Tristan,
man.
and
Right.
Tristan might be checking on Maria, really.
Honestly.
Possible.
If we're all gonna split up, Sybil might head towards the Mysterial.
Okay. Cass and Minnow, where are you guys gonna go?
Maybe they should have a bonding experience.
Cass is gonna walk around for a while.
Okay.
Cass just walks menacingly through the street.
Just menacingly in circles around the block.
It's like having a cop on beat.
I mean, that's sort of how I imagine it.
Yeah.
But Cass is also just going on a walk. Minnow, where are you going?
Oh gosh. I guess walk around, meander on back to the. I mean, not in the same path as Cass, because that's awkward.
I was gonna say just
Slightly
awkwardly
behind.
walking in the same direction.
Like shared blocks.
Okay.
No.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Yep. All right. So we will do Maria and Clive. Let's do you guys first.
Mhm.
So you guys all kind of part ways, walking together, but occasionally losing people as you find directions to go that are suited to what you're looking for. Maria and Clive, you guys walk for about 15 minutes. It would be difficult to find where you were going without Clive and Boon.
Assuredly.
Yeah, Clive and Boone, you guys, without fail, are able to find the small home where Tristan was living when you last saw the child. It is a small, or the loft above a rather small shop. When you pass by, the shop is closed for the day, as noted by a big sign on the door that says closed. Heading around back, you do see the small staircase that leads up to a door.
Maria's gonna clomp ominously up to it and pound on the door. Knock on the door, not pound on the door.
Okay, I was going to say, pound or not?
Knock.
All right, you knock on the door, and there's about 10 or 15 seconds of silence to the point where it almost grows a little worrying.
Mm.
Because you don't hear any sounds coming from behind it, but eventually you hear the sound of locks being thrown open, just clicks and clatters. It sounds like there are several locks being undone.
That sounds safe.
And the door opens to expose a hunched over old woman with features that look pretty craggy, sort of like dried clay. And she looks up at you from underneath a heavy brow. Just, yes?
Hi. Who are you?
Me? I'm Julia. Who are
Uh,
you?
Maria. I'm looking for Tristan.
Oh. May I ask why?
Well, I knew her. I was trying to look in on her and see how she was doing.
Oh. Clive, where are you right now, by the way?
I was like right behind her.
Okay.
Boone's sitting next to him, just kind of staring at this old lady.
Okay. Maria, make a persuasion roll.
Okay, this isn't gonna be good. Hey, not good.
Oh my god.
She squints up at you, then looks back at you, Clive, and takes a moment to size you two up. And between the two of you, you do look fairly dangerous. So her lips draw to a thin, and she's just looking at you, disbelief. And Tristan's not told me of any older friends.
We've been gone for a while, as it turns out, to the Feywild.
We were the adventurers that took care of her request to find her missing brother a while back.
Yeah.
As you say that, you hear a loud screech,
Yeah.
and then the sound of feet pattering against wood, and suddenly there's Tristan blowing past the old woman and just tackling Boon into a full hug.
Yeah.
Oh.
Boone is okay with this.
Oh.
And
Though
she
I
just-
feel like it's probably more like she tackles him and then just kind of like bounces off.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
then,
that's fair.
And then Boone like counter tackle.
Oh no. Time to wash your face.
And there's like a moment where she is just completely engulfed by dog fur. And you can hear tiny laughter coming from within the dog. And then a small head pokes out, and you see Tristan, looking cleaner than the last time you saw her. Her hair is now pleated into a braid that goes down her back. And she looks at you and smiles, and there are a few teeth notably missing. She
Oh.
says, "Hi."
Hello, Tristan.
Hey there, kiddo. How you been?
"Oh, I'm good. Better at least." And she just hugs Boone closer, and Julia gives a small frown and, "Oh, well, I suppose you are telling the truth. Tristan, are these friends?" And Tristan looks back at her and just nods a few times and looks up at you guys, and, "I haven't seen you in forever. Were you guys okay?"
We went to the Feywild. We didn't think we were gone all that long, but as it turns out, we were.
She frowns and her brow furrows in that look of like childlike concentration.
Uh,
And then she shrugs, and that sounds like fun.
there was a lot to see.
Yeah, maybe we'll tell you about some of it.
I got to eat a deep fried rainbow.
What?
It tasted like blue.
Oh, yeah, I'm more fond of green myself. Blue's okay though.
Have you had them before?
No, I've never had a deep fried rainbow.
You just like that color better.
Yeah, and I mean green. It tastes sort of like apples, but not really. You know. Anyway, Julia, can they come in? And the old woman takes a moment and is giving the two of you a notable stink eye.
I can leave anything dangerous at the door if you like.
No, it's fine. And if Tristan trusts you, then I'll trust you too. And she turns and shuffles in, and Tristan just, yeah! And runs in. Notably more energetic than the last time you saw her, certainly. She's kind of bouncing around a lot.
Yeah.
And she runs in, and you guys see pretty clearly behind Julia and Tristan is a rather homely little area. It's looks to be about 3 rooms total. Tristan runs over to a table and pulls out 2 chairs, and then looks at you two expectantly, like, come on.
Maria.
How are you boys?
Yeah, Maria sits down right away. She's looking around the room. She does look over at Julia though, and how long have you been looking after Tristan?
Oh, it's been about 2 weeks now. We didn't really know that Tristan was up here living on her own. She would come by the shops and ask for help making dinner, and then would head back. She's quite the independent little scamp. Tristan just laughs and then hops up on the table, her feet swinging, and but they've been teaching me how to sew, so I can help around their stores. I'm not very good yet, but I'll get there. And Julia just kind of gives
Well, it's
that
good to
weary
hear.
smile.
Thank you for keeping an eye on her.
I appreciate it.
Of course, we won't stand for little orphans, neighbor. We keep eyes on each other, and Tristan is safe now with everybody here. Isn't that right, Tristan? And Tristan just, yeah, everyone here is really nice to me.
Good. The best we could do was leave money before we left, so. I think I
Yeah,
tried
it helped.
I tried to write, but I wasn't sure if it got here.
No, I didn't see any letters come in. The fact that you tried is really nice. Thank you.
You're
I
right.
meant to buy you a souvenir before we headed back, but things got complicated and didn't really have a chance.
Well, since you couldn't get me anything, tell me a story about it. And we'll cut away from there.
Okay.
So you don't have to tell much of a story
We're-
yourself.
She's gonna
Regale
tell her about
her.
the theater.
Regale her with adventures in the Feywild.
Okay. And the
Clive,
whole time,
Clive will leave out some of the more
Yeah. We'll stick
not
to the
good parts.
stick to the festival and the theater, maybe.
Yeah, let's not bring up the prison break and the
Yeah.
city getting swallowed
Yeah.
up with weird fog.
yeah, that's fair. The whole time she just watches you, eyes wide, mouth slightly agape, gasping at both the opportune and inopportune moments. It's a little hard to gauge what she finds fascinating, but she finds a lot of it fascinating. Clearly,
Terrible. They're going to inspire this poor girl to become an adventurer,
Yeah, exactly.
which is the worst thing that they could possibly do.
God.
All right, we are going to move over to Navori.
Oh boy.
Make an investigation check
Oh my gosh.
with
okay.
advantage. With advantage.
Okay. Let me. I feel like this is gonna be awful. 11.
You try going back to some of the more familiar haunts of you and your little clan of scamps, and you find that they're empty for the most part. But you check one, and soon enough, you do find signs, literal signs, kind of the telltale little scrapings that are left, telling people that know what they're looking for where to find the group. And you follow the directions that are written out, and after about an hour of scampering around the city, you come up facing what looks like just a blank wall. Just a wall kind of in the middle of not in the middle of the street, but not like tucked away. Just a wall like off to the side of the street.
Okay.
And you are sure all of the signs told you that this was the spot.
She's squinting at it. She like scrunches up her face and she cautiously puts her hands on it.
Okay.
Like not so much that she's leaning because she doesn't want to like fall through some weird shit, but
There's a moment where your hand is up against something solid, but then it sinks in. It's like touching the surface of gelatin,
just
where
like,
there's
what
some
the
surface
fuck,
tension
man?
before it gives way.
Yeah, then she goes in the jelly wall.
Okay.
Upsetting.
It's it's just there's some surface tension before you can get past. But yeah, you step through and immediately you are greeted by the raucous laughter of children and teenagers sitting around not an alleyway, but it looks like a hole was kind of carved into an alley, not in an alleyway, just kind of carved out of a wall. There's just a decent sized hole, like a handmade alley, where there are kids kind of scampering around. A few older kids are in a circle towards the back of this little, let's call it more of a cave.
You mean a
little-
tunnel?
No, it's like a cave. It's not too deep, and it doesn't have another end of it. Yeah,
Rory's
it
kind of
kind of looks like the
impressed,
Lost Boys
like-
here from
Yeah.
Hook.
That's
Amazing.
exactly what I was
Yeah.
thinking of.
Yeah.
Is there a
Yes.
crow's nest in there?
I mean, not at first blush, but if you, maybe there might be.
Yeah, Navori probably knows a lot of these people anyway, so she's just
Yeah,
like,
and a lot of
"Hey!"
them stop to look when you speak up, and there's a solid like few seconds where it looks like a bunch of them are ready to bolt, before they see who this is.
Yeah,
And
it's just Saint Nave, your resident food cleaner and all of that. Don't worry about it.
some of them just give you this what look before going back to what they're doing. And one kid in particular kind of saunters up to you. He's dressed in rags, but they look like artfully made rags. Like this kid, he knows how to wear rags.
Yeah.
They're not wearing him, he's wearing them. And he sizes you up, puffs out a breath to push some of the shaggy hair from his eyes. And, oi, haven't seen you in some time.
Yeah, like fucking on another plane, and the time went by faster here than there, it seems.
Huh.
Yeah,
Ain't
weird
never
shit.
heard nothing about that. Anyway, good to see you again.
Yeah, likewise.
Go ahead.
That fucking wall is sick. Did you get like someone who knows the finger wiggling?
No, we saved up a bit of money and went and took the clinkies and bought a little item that does it. It's real neat.
That's pretty sick.
It's come in handy, yeah.
I
And
imagine.
It's right now that you see a familiar little rat head peek up over his shoulder.
Hey, the money!
Yeah, he's been real useful. Usually is, but you know. And he reaches up and scratches the little rat, and it chitters, and then crawls over his shoulder and launches at you.
Yeah, the more he catches them, it's like, how's the money doing? You're so good.
The rat squeaks a few times, and with its little ratty claws, just clambers all over you, stopping to sniff occasionally, digging into your pockets, finding little pieces of food that you might have put there, you might have not put them in those pockets, and you're a little bit surprised to find
It's
a whole loaf of bread in a pocket you didn't know you had, but a rat found it. 'Cause that's how they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he scampers around before coming up to settle on your shoulder with some kind of food item between his front hands.
So you've been taking care of him, and how you been doing? Ain't
We've been
got hurt or
fine.
nothing, right?
Oh no. We've been good.
That's good.
Everything's been good, quiet. Well, you know, quiet for us at least.
Yeah. That's good to hear. I don't know what I'm gonna be doing from here on out. So you say this one's been useful. You think I should keep him with you?
Oh,
She sort of scratches the rat's head a little bit.
I mean, I think he's been wanting to go with you, but
All
it's
right.
up to you. We got a few kids in the Venturers Guild now. They heard about your infinite food and decided
it's
to
so
head over that
nice.
way. And yeah, they keep us fed and bring us little
Fucking
coin. They're
perfect.
doing little jobs. They got jobs for young folk. It's pretty neat.
Navori looks excited and she's sort of rubbing her hands together like, good, they're doing better. This is a good thing.
Yeah, things are looking up for the kids. We're doing good.
It's fucking nice. Anything going on? I might hang out here for a little bit before, heading back to do more whatever.
We got some dicing games going. You want in?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, you head off and join in good-natured dicing games, of which it's literally just throwing dice, and you don't know the rules. You just know people get excited at some numbers and groan at others, and you can't suss it out because it's different every time.
Dungeons and Dragons.
It's fine.
All right, we're going to move over to Kess. Kess, you're walking, just kind of stomping around, keeping your eyes out for things, but by and large, keeping to yourself. Make a perception check.
Sure.
Okay. You're walking around. It's been about 20 minutes. It's nice to have some time to yourself. It's been a while since you've really had time to yourself. The last time was in the jail cell, and that didn't really count. And it's in this quiet solitude that you catch a glimpse of a single platinum colored feather pressed up against the side of a building.
Oh
She
shit.
squints at it. Like she kind of doubles. She goes to walk by because like, no, that's not really there. And then she double takes at it.
Okay.
Starts walking towards it.
Okay. And as you get closer, you notice that it's not so much pressed up against the wall as it is kind of carved into it. It looks like someone carved a symbol and then painted it with a rather expensive looking silver platinum colored paint. And closer you see that, oh, this is actually on a doorway of some sort. It's just like it's a door that is kind of better hidden up against the wall than most other doors. It's kind of clearly not really a door people are supposed to wander up to. But a
Well,
door nonetheless.
she stops in front of the feather and looks at the door and kind of brushes her fingers along like the paint. And then she, being who she is, knocks on the door.
Okay. It's a little rough beneath your fingers. You're not able to tell if it's stone or wood. Either way, it's rough and not nicely made. Nothing happens for about 30 seconds, but then there's the telltale sound of a door opening. Or rather, locks unlatching. And there are several locks, and they sound very heavy each one. A series of clunks. 3 to be precise. Before you hear the sound of a wooden door open, and then in front of you, the almost hidden wall kind of slides off to the side. Not very much, just enough for a pair of eyes to peek out from the side, and they just kind of look at you. You're not really able to distinguish much more than the eyes. And just
Cass she looks at the eyes, through her helm, and then she sort of, I don't know, she makes it so that like whoever's there can see her holy symbol. She just kind of untucks it from her shirt.
Okay. The eyes vanish. The door doesn't close, but the eyes vanish, and then a moment later, the door opens fully. It slides off to the side. You're able to see that there are no tracks or anything. There is clearly some magic at work here. And you see a rather short individual, kind of youthful looking, coming up to probably your waist. And they're standing on a step stool. And they fold their arms over their chest and look at you from between a heavy brow and over a large bulbous nose. And, who are you?
My name
Someone-
is Kiss.
Well then, Kess, presenting the symbol of Ilkesh is dangerous these days.
It's on your wall.
Aye, most people don't know that they're looking at it. But presenting a symbol of it, oh, people know that. Or the people that are in the know, but seems that you're a proper one. Well, would be remiss of me to not invite you in. Come, sister. Welcome to the Church of the Balanced Scales.
Yeah, like she's got a look on her face that is like 2/3 suspicious and 1/3 trying not to be hopeful.
He hops off of his stool and makes way for you to follow as he turns to head deeper into this building.
She glances once over her shoulder and then heads in.
Okay. As you head in, the door slides shut behind you with an audible scraping sound it wasn't audible from the outside. And there's the solid thunk of the whatever material it was meshing with the wall that it was once a part of. And you head on in. And it's a dark walk, not completely pitch black, but it's hard to see what's in front of you until you see a very bright, kind of pale yellow light. And stepping up, it's still not much different. Yeah, you step closer, and within this kind of pale yellow light, you see what looks like a chapel. It's very well kept. There's only one set of pews. You see an individual in armor kneeling in front of the church, and you see up against the back wall is a very large set of scales, and they look to be working scales. And there is a feather in one of the scales, and it currently is unbalanced. The feather is holding down the side of the scales that it's on. And it seems like it's a very bare sort of area, kind of aesthetic. Not in the aesthetic, but, you know, the monk sense.
Yeah.
It just occurred to me how unfortunate that is. Wow.
I gotcha.
Yeah. Cool. But yeah, it's rather bare, and you see the shorter individual. Now you can see that, yeah, he's wearing robes that catch the light, and there's like platinum filigree around the cuffs of his sleeves and in an intricate pattern around his neck. He shuffles in and nudges the individual kneeling. Just, we got a visitor, I think she's sort of like you.
Internally, Cass is like, no one is like me.
No one understands me.
Bitch, please.
And you see the individual stir and just give the slightest of nods, but not moving otherwise.
Cass is tense. Like, she ain't. It's been a while since she's been in this sort of atmosphere. And she doesn't, like, all at once, she doesn't know what to make of it, and she also feels old instincts coming back. Maybe that's the wrong word for it, but she takes in the scale, and like there's like a raw sort of like anger, like just in her chest at that, because that's just who she is as a person. And she walks in, but she doesn't approach like the front of the church, and she slides into a pew and kind of leans back and crosses her arms, waiting sort of to see where this is going.
Okay. What you now imagine to be the priest, or priest of this temple or church, has vanished off into a side room. You saw him head off, push open a door, and close it behind him. And it's rather silent in this room. The individual in armor is sitting there for a moment before you hear the shuffling of heavy plate grinding against itself. And you hear a voice. Are you going to just sit back there, sister, or are you going to come and pay tribute to our fallen god?
And Cass opens her mouth and then she closes her mouth. And she says, she doesn't say anything for for a long moment. Like she's trying not to say the first thing that comes to mind because it's not very diplomatic. And she rises and she makes her way closer. She doesn't quite reach the steps where he's kneeling.
Okay.
But she's kind of like hovering maybe 2 or 3 feet behind him and looking at the unbalanced scales. And she says, do you think he heals you?
No, I don't think he does. But whether or not he hears me is not really the point. And it's now that you catch a glimpse of the individual's hair. This closer, you're able to get some defining features. And their hair is long and white, tied into a ponytail. But there's a strange glimmer about the hair that makes it look like it's made almost out of like a metal, but it's clearly not metallic. It just has kind of a metallic sheen to it.
Yeah.
And he goes on to say, it is belief that keeps us going, is it not? The desire to believe, at least. Something bigger that will give us guidance.
She inhales, she exhales. Well, in the wake of silence, we can only follow our own judgment.
Good. And once more you hear the shifting of plate, and the individual rises. And when they turn to look at you, the features are familiar. Not in the sense that you know this person, but familiar in a sense that you didn't expect to see one of your people here in Sigil.
Oh, fuck. And this is why she was tense.
He has very regal features. He looks like someone that was born into nobility with high cheekbones and a very square jaw. But he has crow's feet around his eyes, and he looks tired. And he just looks over you, and you too are seeking answers like me. Are you not?
Yes.
Well then, sister, I welcome you to this humble church. I am Paladin Erhard. I have come here, much like you, I presume, to find answers.
And she looks like she has a couple of questions, and she doesn't know if she wants the answers to those questions. So she's silent, watching him for a moment, And she decides that she doesn't want the answers to any of the questions that pop up immediately. Cat. Stop it. Go get him. Go.
Make a perception check.
Sure.
Okay. With him having turned to face you now, you get a full glimpse. Not glimpse, you get a full eye full of his armor and his bearing. And the armor he was wearing is very elaborate. It has a lot of, not spiked, but it has like a large curving breastplate that at the shoulders comes to points that almost look like they would be the beginning of wings. And you recognize that this armor, normally filigreed in gold and platinum, is the armor of a high paladin, one of the commanders of the order you hail from.
She's yeah, she's not relaxing anytime soon. She her entire body looks like she's ready almost for him to like pounce, more or less. Like she's just completely hackles raised. But she's still.
And in contrast, he is at a very relaxed military at ease.
Yeah.
And the corner of his lips quirk up, and his smile is world-weary at best. You needn't be so tense around me, sister. I believe I've the measure of you. There's nothing to fear within these walls. Other than your own fear, I suppose, but that is for your own judgment. As you said, in the wake of silence, we may only make our... Have you found answers you're seeking?
Not yet.
Good. Keep looking. I see that you are of the same order as I, aren't you? Those who would pass the judgment for the one that once spoke to us? Good. What is your name?
There's a long silence, and she says, she looks like she's on the cusp of giving him a real answer, and then she just, nope, that's not happening. And she says, God damn it.
She opens her mouth and a tiny squeak comes out.
What is your name? In the mother tongue.
She's speaking Asimar. It's like, okay. It's like Celestial, but squeakier. It's a dialect.
Smiler's Celestial is just like squeaky chicken.
And Abyssal's just those squeaky chickens hooked up to a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. I know, and after a moment she says, I abandoned my real name when I left our plane. So for now, you can call me Cass.
Cass. Well then, Cass, may you find your real name again sometime soon.
There is only one who can return it to me.
I see. A dedicated one, then.
Some would say too much, and others would say not enough.
There is no such thing as either. Well then, Cass. Allow me to share with you what I found. And he sits you down and tells you some things that I will type out to you later.
Oh, good. Good.
It is nothing actionable.
Okay.
And at some point he does say, Cass, I would like it if you came to see us on occasion. You are welcome here whenever.
Given what you have told me, I have little reason to doubt you will see me again.
Wonderful. But before you leave, allow me to give you a gift. And he utters some words quietly under his breath that you can't quite hear, and he reaches out and taps you in the center of your chest quicker than you could stop him. And he bestows upon you the spell you recently learned.
Heck yeah!
May you use it well, little sister.
She looks a little affronted at being called little, but she takes it, and she nods.
Okay. Now we will move away from that, and we're going to head over to Minnow. Minnow, you've been walking for a little bit of time. It's not been over long. It's a quiet walk, though, one that you are kind of purposefully tuning out the world around you like you were once taught to do, so you can focus on your inner thoughts. And you find them to be mostly troubling. You've been having trouble kind of coming to terms with what you've been asked to do and what you feel like you should do. And as you walk, you find yourself almost getting lost. You don't really know where you are when you finally do snap to and pay attention to your surroundings. And coming from a nearby alleyway, you hear the sound of struggle.
Head that way.
Okay. You turn and head down the alleyway.
Oh no.
Did you cut out, Max?
Yeah.
No.
Oh,
Good.
no.
Did you die?
I said,
Alleyway?
can you give me a perception check?
Yes. Let's see. Suspense. Suspense. Talking. 15.
Okay. You only have to go to the beginning of this alleyway for the sounds of a struggle to grow loud enough so you can overhear what's happening. And it is very clearly someone being mugged. It's difficult to tell the genders necessarily. The voices are pretty neutral in all aspects. And a moment's glance shows you that the person being mugged or someone rather, you assume it's the person being mugged, is on the floor or the ground, arms raised in defense, with the other individual. They are rather large and burly looking at this point, arms raised like they are ready to strike.
Okay. She's gonna take a few steps further down the alleyway and yell out, "Cease, brute!"
Stop it, Namely Moon.
Yeah.
God, I love Minnow.
Yeah.
And she's gonna wait to see what he does.
There is a moment where, or it is enough of a surprise on some level for the person's fist to start and then stop. Like they were just about ready to hit and they stop. And they don't turn to look. And then they raise their fist once more.
Well, my god. She shrugs. Well, I did say to cease, and she is, charge in recklessly to, unclip her naginata and take a swing.
Okay.
I had to decide if she was gonna tackle. Okay.
Yes. Make an attack.
Oh god. I will say ahead of time she's doing it more to blow the person back, not like
Okay, so non-lethal.
nothing lethal, just to get them
Unlike
off
some
the
people.
person.
Okay.
Let me see. Oh my god. $16?
Okay. You sweep up with amazing alacrity, really, and bring the butt of the naginata around and slap it against his upraised fist, and it's enough to shock the individual out of it, and they turn to look at you, and you see that it is a very large individual with flame red beard, very bushy brows, and burning red eyes. They look at you confused briefly, and and then they take a swing at you.
Oh good.
And they miss.
Okay.
And he steps forward and just carries his momentum around to swing his big meaty fist at you, and you dodge out of the way just kind of by leaning to one side, and he stumbles forward and just, "Who the fuck are you? Get out of here, it's business between me and my friend here."
Friends wouldn't speak with their fists. Why don't you be on your way?
"You don't know me." And he comes at you to take another swing, and he misses again.
Oh my god.
This is another one where you just kind of lean off to one side, and he stumbles and hits the opposite wall and snarls, and, "This ain't none of your business. They owe me money. I'm just collecting."
She frowns at that, looks down at the person on the ground to kind of get a gauge for them.
It is a younger, human-looking male, probably in his early 20s at a glance. He's got a big black eye, just like shaking his head no, but not saying anything.
Alright, turns back to the guy. How much would that be?
The guy looked like he was getting ready to really fight, and this catches him short, and he blinks, kind of slow, disbelieving blinks and looks back down to the guy on the ground and then looks at you, back to the guy on the ground and looks at you and 200 gold. He owes me 200 gold for gambling debts.
Insight check.
I was gonna ask.
All right, metagaming owl, back off.
Well, I was already gonna have her like
Yeah, yeah.
squinty squint and like look at the boy first for any sort of tell before.
The guy just looks terrified.
Okay, can she kind of?
You can make an insight check. Yeah.
Okay, I don't know how to ask for that. Like...
Yeah, you can just ask.
Okay. 16.
Okay. The burly dude is super lying out of his teeth. He looks nervous when he says it.
This foreigner, oh my god. Okay, well, she is gonna take her satchel,
Mm-hmm.
have an attempt of that, and we'll call it even, considering how this is going.
What was that? Sorry, my headset cut out.
Oh no, it might have been me too. Have an attempt of that, and we'll call it even, considering how this is going with me here.
What? No, it'll be 200. And he takes another swing.
Okay.
And he rolled. What's your AC?
16.
Oh, he rolled a 15. He comes a
An
bit
eyebrow.
closer this time, like infuriatingly so. And he snarls this time when you just barely get out of the way.
Can
And
she
he
take
is-
a swing?
Absolutely, make an attack roll.
Alright. Another non-lethal, just gonna try to smack him to the ground.
Okay.
11.
Yeah, this one works again. He's got a 10 AC. As he's stumbling past, you just swat him with the butt of your naginata again, the back of his knees, and it's enough to drop him to his knees, and he. Alright, you wanna fight? We go. And he gets to his feet and gives you another look, and. You said a 10th?
Oh, it's no gold now. You disagreed.
No. 10 gold, and I'll leave.
She points her naginata down the alley.
Make an intimidation roll.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh no!
come on.
He seems a little too incensed to really bite. And he's. You're threatening me?
Yes.
Right, I'm threatening you back! And he's gonna charge and swing at you again.
Okay.
And he misses. And, he rolled a 2.
Oh my god.
Well,
He is just sucking.
she's gonna take a swing.
Alright. This is some, like, kung fu shit back here. Yeah, this is some kung fu shit. Like, you just swat him again, this time a bit harder, enough to draw a yelp from him. So you get him just right across the ass.
Should we
And
keep
just-
going? Where you owe me gold?
No, it's fine. Fuck off! And he gets to his feet and just runs down the alley to get away.
Alright. She's gonna kneel before the boy and unstrap one potion. Are you alright?
I'm fine. Yeah. Thank you, miss.
Of course.
I thought I was good, or I ain't even got 5 gold to be named.
We'll take this if you are. She looks at this human boy and like knowledge of
You can make a medicine check.
ouchies for humans. Okay. 19.
He's got a black eye and the beginning of a bloody lip. He looks relatively fine, just kind of beat up.
Okay. Well, I believe ice would be good for that.
Yeah,
Swollen eye.
yeah. I'll get back to me mum, and I'll have her ice it up. He starts pulling himself to his feet. Thank
She'll
you,
help
mum.
him. Yeah.
Okay. He just. Thank you, mum. Oh, thank you. What's your name?
You can call me Minnow.
Oh, that's a pretty name, Minnow. Thank you.
Hmm.
Thank you for
How
the
about I-
help.
Yes, how about I escort you back to your mother?
Oh, that'd be wonderful. And he beams a smile at you, and you escort him back to what appears to be his home.
Okay.
His mother tries to give you a gold. So,
She will deny it.
Okay. Yeah, you spend like 5 minutes haggling over it before he gives up and doesn't get, and just like, yeah, okay, fine. But yeah, we will move over to Sybil now.
Can I just say that Minnow is adorable?
Right.
Yeah, honestly.
Sybil, you there?
She's muted.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I was just
Hello.
checking. Okay, you're heading to the college. It takes you a bit longer than most to get there, as you have a sense of general dread heading towards the school. It is the dread that everybody feels when they're going back
Bold
to
of
their
you
high
to
school.
assume that she's not power walking because she is.
There's still that little bit of dread of like,
She's
oh,
still
school.
walking very fast, making her way downtown, going to school on a mission.
You arrive, and it's that familiar large iron gate that you push open a little recklessly and step past, and there is that brief moment where your ears pop, and you are once more, we'll change the picture. Why not?
Ooh, setting trains.
Yeah. Just in case everyone forgot, which it's been a long time. You are in that familiar kind of gray landscape with the tower, the Magus Spire looming ahead of you. And you continue power walking up the slope to take you up to the front gates. And you find yourself at the entrance to the school with the entrance to the library off to the side.
She's going to the library.
Okay. It takes you about 5 more minutes to get to the library. But you do get there. There it is. And you open the door to the library, and you are greeted with profound silence that is in every library. It is not packed, at least not at first blush. You do see a few students milling around. It is the equivalent of summer break, but it's not too surprising that there are still some people around here.
So there's no soft weeping.
No, there's no soft weeping. Finals have passed. Thankfully. There is a familiar turtle at the front desk, and he spots you, and a very slow, creeping smile spreads across his strange turtle face.
Okay. Give me a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Just give me a solid minute. Just one whole minute to go through my notes.
And find his name.
And find his name, because Sybil would remember. Or you could tell me his name. It really depends on how much time you want to spend.
Let me see.
I
I figured you'd remember.
Fucking no one knows his name.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah, you remember his name is Jonathan.
Jonathan. I really should have remembered. That's a very plain name.
It is a very plain name.
Sybil goes up to him and she's like, "Hey, Jonathan, how you holding up?"
I'm okay. Hi, Sybil. It's been a while.
Yeah,
Last
it's been a
time I
while.
saw you in trouble.
No, the last time no, you weren't there the next time we visited, and I wasn't totally in trouble. You're right. Not always in trouble.
Ha, 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 ha. I believe you.
At least someone does. Sybil has a look around and she says, "Hey, has my mom told me that Phoebe has gotten some sort of scholarship or position within the school. Has she been around the library lately?"
Oh, I heard she has been working underneath Professor Arya.
Hmm. Does Sybil know who Professor Arya is?
You do. Professor Arya is your most hated professor.
Oh, I love that.
She taught, and write this down,
I am.
planar framework
Uh-huh.
and interconnected mathematics.
Oh. Ooh.
Goodness.
You do not remember what her class was about.
How'd Sybil even make it into that class? She's been taking remedial algebra for 4
Yeah,
years.
that's kind of a required class from what you remember.
She took that class like 3 times, man.
Yeah.
Alright. Sybil nods a couple times and is like, right. Oh, maybe, well, at least she's making the Hawker name sound good. Because God knows I didn't in that class.
Oh, a lot of us don't do well. The fabric of space-time eludes most of us.
It's fucking incomprehensible. So she'd be in the main building then?
Oh, no. I think she is out working in the city. I can send her a message if you'd like.
No, that's fine. I'll just catch her at home sometime.
Okay.
Yeah. Sybil kind of looks like she's thinking for a minute. Her eyes kind of narrow and she has a look back towards the rest of the library, and eventually she decides to ask, "Hey, so this is a long shot, but are there any books on theology, specifically, perhaps gods that have fallen out of vogue? Why with their following?"
There is a very ponderous and slow blink. It is as disbelieving a look as you can imagine getting from a turtle.
Sybil says, "Yeah, I'm going through a spiritual phase, I guess, and really discovering myself out there, adventuring and whatnot."
Right. There is a section on theology and gods. Fallen deities is a subject I can ask after. It may take a few days.
Yeah, that's fine. I'd
Perfect.
appreciate that.
I will do so for you, Sybil, my
Okay,
friend.
Sybil smiles.
He smiles back, and it's a little horrifying because turtles don't have teeth.
It's okay, she's used to it.
Yeah.
I personally think it's cute. You ever see a picture of a turtle that looks like it's smiling?
Yeah.
Precious.
Yeah, that's fair. He's just got a weird tongue. 'Cause turtles have freaky tongues. All right. So, with that done, do you head out?
Well, I mean, she's gonna go, fucking meander around the theology section for a bit, looking for a specific imagery, perhaps familiar. Why?
Give me investigation.
Okay. Oh God, what's my investigation? 0. All right. 16.
Okay. You spend the better part of an hour browsing. Very swiftly, you were reminded why libraries kind of give you headaches sometimes. You find one book, though, amidst the fucking cavalcade of them, that does have several symbols stamped on the sides, and one of them is a platinum.
Is it like a coexist symbol?
No, it's like, shit. Wow. It is... You think I would have this completely memorized, but it's been so long.
1,000 years. See, I'm thinking of the coexist bumper sticker, just in terms of a lot of symbols together.
It has 5 symbols on it.
Hmm.
One of which is indeed the platinum feather. One is a wine glass of some sort pouring into some kind of vessel. Another is the image or elaborate image of a flaming torch. One is a sword that is jagged and wicked with the tip fractured and a wrapping coming off of the hilt. And the other one is a half moon.
Hmm.
And there's the platinum feather.
Yeah.
Picking it off the shelf, it just says the accepted pantheon.
Okay.
Opening it and browsing through it, it's just some basic information about the gods that are part of the accepted pantheon within Sigil. There is Isaias, the god of life, Dinara, the goddess of light, Rona, the goddess of death, and Artan, the god of war. And then there's Ilkesh, the god of justice.
Okay, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Which may be too specific, but you know. When was this book penned? What time? What sigil time?
It was about 30 years prior to present day.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Sybil's gonna have a little bit of a read.
Okay. I will toss you some information later.
Hell yeah.
So, everyone has done their little thing. Tristan says goodbye to you, Clive and Maria, and makes you promise to come see her again soon.
Oh, she's gonna leave 20 gold. Just like give it to Julia and be like, you know, for college or whatever.
College.
For college!
We're saving up a college fund.
Julia doesn't look like she really knows, and yes, you know, I was actually referring to those that you finished. It looks really cool.
Ooh.
Yeah, if you want some representation of the symbols,
Hey.
you know, 3 of
Ooh,
them
nice.
in the past. Yes, it was very kind of her.
Sick.
So yeah,
One of them was a snowflake, and I got like stuck on it, and now you just said the
yeah, I changed that one because the
Oh my
snowflake was
God.
a little shitty.
All right. Well, now that there is no snowflake, I can probably finish them. So.
Okay. Yeah,
These are good.
they got shifted a little bit because they never came up. So I was like, I can refine them.
Good.
Anyway, yeah, these are super rad.
Yeah.
They are.
They are.
Okay, yeah, you guys hand over 20 gold for Tristan's education.
Yeah.
Isn't school free?
Yes.
Maria doesn't know.
Nothing is free.
Neither does Clive.
Yeah.
Children are expensive, right?
Where Clive
I mean,
comes from, you're out of school by the time you're like 13.
You know how to read and do basic math? Good. Go.
Yeah.
Live a life. Okay. Yeah, Julie doesn't seem like she knows what she's gonna do with it necessarily, but she thanks you.
Live the high life, I guess.
Yeah.
Buy the kids some groceries.
Yeah. Get her a
Yeah, 20
sweater.
gold worth of groceries.
Oh my god.
Jesus.
I
Anyway,
don't know how much Sigillian groceries cost.
like less than a gold?
Now she has like a lot of groceries. Like
Yeah,
months
she's
worth of
basically set for like a
groceries.
year. Anyway, you guys all wind up heading back to the Adventurers Guild unless you do not. Any
Unless you
objection?
don't.
Sybil dies on the way there. She just straight up dies.
Alright, yeah, that's fine. Sybil has a heart attack.
She's
Betrayed.
walking down the street and like trips over a rock.
And breaks her neck, yeah.
And the last thing you hear is Oberon going, damn it.
Oh my god.
Anyway, any objections to going back to the Adventurers Guild?
None. None.
No.
No.
Okay.
Nope.
Slowly you guys all filter in. The downside to me not being the one streaming is sometimes I wander away from my computer faster than I can change the maps. So yeah, you guys all one by one push in, finding the guild to be as it always is. Ardania is running to and fro. There are various adventures of different stripes and creeds, sitting around, being jovial. And yeah, you guys find each other at some point, gathering in your familiar corner, one by one, finding. Yeah, you've kind of staked out a corner of the guild.
Maria's
where
broom
there's some-
corner.
Yeah, Maria's broom corner.
Broomba.
You do see Broomba scuttling around, occasionally bumping into people.
Sybil
Maria
sits
speeding her
down.
rat.
Oh no. Sybil sits down at the table with a piece of meat that looks suspiciously anime. You know that kind of meat.
Yeah.
Ghibli food.
Not
Yeah.
the giant
Yeah.
hunk of meat with like the bone sticking out on each end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Sybil's gonna look at Nate and be like, you know what we didn't do when we went to the crazy magic shop?
Hmm?
I didn't get Ardania anything. I just want that to be a trend.
Yeah, well, we're going back like tomorrow,
That's true.
right?
Tomorrow, I gotta get my bear apple.
Your bear
I forgot
apple.
about the apple.
Oh well, now you remember.
Nino, just to catch you up,
Uh-huh.
fucking Sybil got an apple commissioned that summons a bear. Just a bear, not
Just
a
a
friendly
bear.
just a bear.
I mean, it's not necessarily a hostile bear either. It's
Most bears are hostile by default. Anyway, sorry for the interruption.
That's
No,
a
that's
gross generalization of bears. What if it's not the animal that the apple summons?
Oh
All
my
right,
God.
we're moving past that now. Rupa comes over and just knocks up against the table loudly.
Sybil blinks out of her thoughts of her uncharacteristic thoughts of giant hairy men. And take it away, someone else.
Yeah. The Maria's just like, you went to, where'd you go? Did you say we're going tonight? What, the Nerd Palace? Talking
I
to
didn't
Sybil.
say I was going anywhere. and Sybil eats some more.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I think you guys just kind of all split up without saying where you were going.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hey,
she
boy.
didn't say that. She's just like, yeah, where'd you go? I'm curious and nosy.
Nowhere. I ain't go anywhere.
Wow. Okay, that's how it is.
I stood in the street and just people watched. That's definitely what I did. Sybil's like not even trying to lie. In fact, she's
Yeah,
purposefully
Devori's
lying.
just looking
shitty.
at her like, really? I mean, you could have just said you didn't want to tell me.
Where did you go? What did you do? Where's that rat from?
It's the
It's a
money.
big ass rat. What?
Yeah, the money. Money's the best rat.
You didn't visit a fake.
I appreciate the squeaking. It's
That's the
well
rat.
timed.
It
Yeah, that's
adds-
the rat.
Yeah,
That's the money.
it's adding some atmosphere.
She found her favorite toy after it being so
Why did you name your rat after, like, why does your rat's name sound like some man you'd meet in a gambling den who wears a lot of gold chains?
What the fuck you talking about? Because, like, I could just be like, hey, where's the money? And it'd be funny. Right? I don't know, look.
I want to
You
get
don't
your
got
rat
much
like a
of nothing,
tiny
it's a
gold
funny
chain.
joke.
Sybil goes to,
I
like,
could be like, hand
pet
over
the
the
rat.
money, and they give me the rat, and it's amazing. Come on.
She goes to try to pet the rat, but, like, she fully expects it to try to bite her, so she, like, goes to try, but then she, like, jerks her finger away.
Look at all.
Oh my god. You know what? He's good to people that are assholes.
The money looks at you, Sybil, now.
Sybil looks at the money.
I love this.
The money looks. Who else is at the table now?
I think.
I mean, I'm sure Clive's there. His
Yeah.
mouth is probably like full.
All right. The money is now seemingly looking away from you, Sybil.
It's
Sybil
moment has
mutters under
passed.
her breath, he was ugly anyway.
what?
even a cute
Excuse
rat.
me.
I said
Wow.
he's
Wow.
cuddly.
I thought you
He's
were
a
my
cuddly
friend.
rat.
This is my buddy. This is fucking rude of you.
Not everyone's friends can get along.
The money is watching Clive like a hawk. Ironic, but yes.
The Wild
Clive,
West music
Clive like
plays.
looks over at it, and then he picks off a tiny piece of like cheese and hands it to the rat.
The rat takes it graciously, nods, and then goes to eating. It's like this very purposeful, noble-looking gesture.
Yeah, see, that's the way to do it. Good job, Clive. You know
Someone
how to deal
please
with
you
them.
speak with animals so that the money can have a thick New York accent.
Bada bing, bada boom.
Where's my money?
Where's my money?
Give me all your
Instead of Half
money.
My Money is just playing in the background continuously.
I did not make a mistake in naming this rat. Gosh.
Alright. Who else is at the table?
I assumed we were all there. Well, Minno's there.
Okay.
Cass comes in last. She's like, she's walking like some shit happened, but well, she's not gonna talk about it. She just sits down.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when does Cass ever talk about it, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, Navori's looking at her and kind of squinting, like, you alright there?
Yes. It's not very convincing.
Yeah. Navari just looks at Cass and then looks at Sybil. It's just like, what the fuck happened when I wasn't there? Like, please-
Sybil looks meaningfully at Cass, and for a split second, she looks like an animal in an ASPCA commercial, but it quickly passes.
In the arms of an angel, please. Please.
Yeah, just 2 seconds of in the arms of an angel.
In the arms. Thank you, Shadow. We harmonized. That was good.
Yeah.
You guys go off and have these like spirit journeys or something. You're not gonna say anything about it. What the fuck?
I never said I had a spirit journey. I said I
Yeah,
was
I know.
people watching.
Yeah, and it was a lie. I know.
Wow!
Yeah, well, you called my rat ugly, and that's rude. So
I really feel like
Going
our
on.
friendship is crumbling in 5 minutes. Everything we've built up this past month is just falling apart.
whose fault is that?
Sybil has a brief flashback to when her dad left.
Oh wow! Fucking war flashback for no reason.
Jesus. Yeah, well, as long as you're alright and whatever. She shoves more stuff in her face.
Yeah, I mean, I was mostly just reading, to be honest. It's not much to talk about. Did anyone else do anything exciting?
I want a dice game, that's about it.
My child looks healthy. That's all she says.
Over Mario?
Well, that's wonderful, Grand Marshal Maria.
Grandma.
No, I did not
Oh,
forget
Mario
that.
looks at Minnow
Yeah.
too. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Sybil remembers that joke from episodes ago. Sybil looks at Mario then and she's like, wait, you have a kid? You never mentioned having a kid.
I mean, I guess she's not technically mine. But sometimes I bring.
Oh, is it the one?
Didn't we have a conversation about this before?
Yeah,
Oh,
but I
the
didn't
one-
think
the
she
one with
was
the
your
crossbow.
kid. There's a
Well,
lot of
I
bureaucracy
mean-
that goes into that.
She ain't.
No. I just bring her the money, but not that money.
We
Mario
could
just
bring her the
grinned.
money.
No. No, the money wants to come with me.
Mm.
Well, I hope your kid's doing good.
In the meantime, Cass has like gotten something to drink.
I'm
Okay.
imagining it's like something very stiff.
It's something stiff.
It's so stiff that like you guys all catch a whiff and it basically smells like a hospital. Just hospital.
God.
Mario's like,
Like,
mm,
drinking Everclear.
Yeah, basically.
that smells real bad.
She just like she takes a sip of it, makes a face, and then she just downs the entire
Oh.
goddamn thing.
Oh, my stomach just curdled.
Yeah.
Like I said, like oh, like Everclear, and then just flash back to when I had Everclear semi-regularly. It was like, oh,
Sybil is just gonna pick up a piece of bread off her plate and just slowly put it in front of Cass.
Cass,
You didn't need that.
Cass looks at Sybil and then looks at the bread, and she just has an expression on her face like, no, she wants to feel this.
Yeah, the Murray just has this sort of open mouth, scrunched up face expression, like, what the fuck is going on here? Like,
Sybil gives Cass a look like, and then she's just like, yeah, well, I'll hold your helmet when you vomit later, I guess.
you mean like probably more like that neck thing that's gonna get in the way.
Yeah, the scarf,
Keep
yeah.
anything from falling off while she's throwing up.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I feel like we have no direction now that we're not caught in the middle of political scandal.
Well, didn't Clive get like a letter about like some blood thing?
Yeah, I was planning on checking that out myself tomorrow.
Oh, is that in the city?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it was in the Feywilds.
So, wait, a blood thing? Sybil
What was it?
tries
It was
to
like
do
a
some
blood
mental math.
eater, a blood. You said something about like what vampires?
Well, they
Yeah.
called it a bloodsucker, but that don't necessarily mean it's a vampire. Last
It
time
could be like a really big leech.
was exactly what it was the last time.
Mm.
Ugh.
Really?
That's how we ended up with a child.
But,
I swear to God.
Stop laughing!
Well, I mean, technically not wrong.
That's the weirdest.
Is your child a mini leech? How is she gonna shoot a crossbow with no arms?
Yeah, Minno's thinking too hard on that too.
No, she has arms. She doesn't look anything like a bloodsucker.
Oh.
Navori was absolutely picturing a leech that just sprouted tiny little wiggly arms,
Ugh.
holding a crossbow.
God.
It's bloodborne.
Yeah.
Kind of.
Tristan the Celestial Emissary.
Oh no.
Dear Hunter.
Oh.
Whoa.
Navori, like, she sort of makes that image with minor illusion. Just like, so not like that.
No.
We're
Everyone
eating
everyone roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh God.
No.
Do I
I'm
get
kidding.
it?
I'm kidding.
Oh, I'm gonna do one anyway.
I was gonna say, is this at disadvantage for me? Cause
Yeah. I mean, if you want to make one, okay.
Why do my saving throws have +2? 6.
No one likes it.
Clive is fine.
Yeah, Clive's fine.
God.
Sybil, you are unsettled.
Here.
You know,
Here.
you are unhappy with what you
Hang
see.
on. Wisdom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. Why not? You get disadvantage.
Oh, wow.
Boom.
Kess, do you want to make one too?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
We all take psychic damage.
Kess,
The two adults make it.
Kess, you are very much approaching drunk, and you're just like, eh. Clive, you're just kind of
Clive-
like,
Clive-
neat.
Yeah, Clive's just like, it just goes like in one ear and out the other.
Sybil and Minnow, you are disturbed. Maria, you are officially disassociating.
Cool.
Clive's too simple for it to take effect on him.
Mario
Yeah.
just shuts off.
Sybil puts a hand on Maria's shoulder and she slowly lowers her ghibli meat. She can't eat like this.
Navori makes it go away.
Why did it look slimy?
It's a fucking leech. Where do you think they come from? Fucking slime.
Do they? Because we
come
saw
out
a lot of slime and I
They
didn't
come
see
out of
any
the
leeches.
sewers, and those are usually slimy.
We're eating.
Well, I didn't bring it up first.
It's around now that you hear a commotion at the entrance of the Adventurers Guild. Just people don't know what to make of something, and over the din you hear someone. It's Sybil here.
Sybil gets up. Sybil gets up. She goes. She's going.
All right, over the
Sorry.
sea of people, you see a
He
very
stands on
large,
the table.
floppy hat.
Ah! And who's under the hat?
A very familiar face. She looks an awful lot like you, but miniaturized
Yeah.
and wearing very oversized, patchy robes. Pretty big, kind of crooked, round glasses. And it's
Sybil sees her and she immediately goes to scoop her up.
there's this helpless little.
And she thinks about spinning her around, but they're at an end, so she kind of just like does that thing where you hug someone so hard that their feet lift off the ground.
Oh, let me down.
You're being dramatic, and she like swings her a little bit, but then she puts her down.
I'm gonna be sick.
Hey,
Hi.
kiddo. I heard that you're like an apprentice to that horrible, horrible witch.
She is very nice.
If
Yeah.
you're doing well.
I mean, yeah. Yeah, hi.
Hey, it's a testament to your intelligence that you got in good with her after she had to deal with me for like 3 years.
I just don't say your name around her and it's all fine.
Okay. Sybil is like, do you want to sit down or?
And she looks back at you guys sitting around the table.
Devori is
It-
absolutely standing on the table because she wanted to see what was going
Those are
on.
my
Navori's like
friends.
that
Navori
dog
likes
that-
to feel tall.
She gets excited and stands on things.
Yeah.
Boon realizes he's being looked at and wags his tail.
Devori just waves. Granted.
You see this girl like try to shrink into her robes a little bit and offer a very meek wave and just like, they're interesting.
Yeah.
Cass just briefly looked over.
Ari's disassociating.
Sybil does it real quick, like she points to Kess. That's Kess, she's having a rough day. That's Maya, she's having a rough life. That's Clive, he's like the most responsible one. That's Minnow. She's just recovering from a rough day, and that's Navori.
Clive is like mid-shoving like a piece of meat into his mouth, and he's like pauses, like, "Huh? What? Someone say my name."
Oh, and that's Boon, he's a dog.
Hi. She like immediately like blossoms. Just hi, and just walks over to Boone and immediately gives him a scratch, and then looks at
Sybil
you guys.
stands
Boone
behind
Boone
Phoebe that
detects
way.
friendship and initiates friendship tackle.
Yeah, Sybil kind of like catches Phoebe when Boone like
She's like
tackles her.
Wow.
Devori gets down when she comes over, so she's not standing on the table.
Cass starts to eat the bread because she's got to be a person.
Anyway, Jonathan told me that you guys were in town, and Mom told me that you're an adventurer now. That's
Yeah.
you've got wild friends. By the way, hi, I'm Phoebe. I'm
The
Sybil's
next
sister.
big prodigy of Sigil.
No, not really.
A huge genius, definitely going places.
Yes, I'm that, but not. Anyway.
She's a prefect.
Hey, nice to meet you, Phoebe.
Yeah, you too. I came to see you, but I also, I have a little present for all of you. Mom told me that, there's a lot of you. I don't know how many there are, so hopefully I have enough. And she reaches into a very large, shitty robe and pulls out a small satchel and then sets it on the table and reaches in and starts pulling out little copper coins. And she carefully counts 2, 6. Good. I have 6. She clears her throat and sits up straight. These are planar time lock coins. Mom told me that you guys are adventurers, and adventurers go places that have really weird timelines. And I would rather my sister not vanish, because that would be kind of shitty.
Yeah.
So I would like you all to have these. They make it so you are kind of in time with Sigil. It's a little weird still, but you won't come back like years later. It might still be like a month or 2, but when you go to the more wild places, it'll keep you in sync. But you gotta have these coins on you. Let it go.
Huh.
Well, I don't know what'll happen. Don't let them go. Typically, these are like bracelets or necklaces, make it harder for you to lose it. But, well, these were easier for me to come by. But yeah, just keep these on you. And
That sounds really neat.
Mm.
Yeah, this is really complicated to make, isn't it? And Sybil like holds it up to the light.
yeah, okay, you have to make sure you go off of the planar flux table, or else you'll just get lost in a time cycle that really is just consuming everything. It's kind of dire, but at the same time, it's the only thing that enables us to. Sorry, I'm going on.
Sybil was listening with rapt attention, even if she
Clive
didn't
was-
understand
Clive
anything.
was trying to, and then it
Yeah,
all just
Navori
started
was
like.
too, and she would squint on occasion, and then she's like, "Okay, but like, what about things that are interacting with us on other planes? Is it, like, weird for them?"
Oh no, they generate kind of a field around you. It's fine. Trust me. Yeah, it's
Sneak.
So
just
we won't move any faster or slower than anything on the plane, right?
Yeah, that's what I was sort of wondering.
well. See, that's the thing. If you lose possession of the kind of behind or in front, but most planes aren't in the future because that's not really possible. It's only possible to exist in the past, not in the future, because the future is technically just a form of the present. And I'm going on again.
Time
Anyway.
isn't for
Wait,
you.
does that mean that Sigil exists in the future and everything else exists in the past?
No, not really.
Oh.
Yeah, not really. It's all kind of existing all at the same time. It's just about which you are able to observe at the time. And that's why these will keep you plane locked. It's because you will have a piece of sigil with you at all times, and you'll be able to observe it, and sigil will be able to observe you. And anything around you is pulled into this strange little field that's generated, but anything that's far away, including you or your friends. So please make sure that you hold these, or else you get thrown out of whack, and you'll be gone forever. Or
What if I
at least
swallow it?
you'll shit it out eventually. So
Yeah, that's fair. Never mind.
yeah, don't. I'm sorry for her. She usually knows better than eating money, but
Sybil slowly starts slipping the coin in her mouth like it's a wafer.
Phoebe's just watching, kind of deadpan, and
Her bluff has been called, so she just sort of spits it out into her own palm.
Well, she claimed that one.
yeah, gross.
Spit shined.
eh. Anyway, hold on. You need a seventh. Hold on. And she roots around within her robes again and pulls out another copper coin and kind of winces at it, and then just give me a second. She pulls out a very thin silver reed and leans over and starts muttering something under her breath and is etching things into the coin.
Sybil is watching like the proud sibling of an honors student.
And it takes like 2 or 3 minutes, and then she pulls the reed away and presses her thumb down on it. And there's a little flash briefly before she looks at it and holds it up to the light and nods. And this is for the dog, but guy, doesn't really have pockets or anything, but it's best if he has it on him. So take a step away, or go do his doggy business without flying out of sync with the time and showing up a year later.
I mean, we could probably put a
Yeah,
hole
like
in
a
it and
collar.
like put it in his cup. Yeah. Maybe if you have a
That's fine.
dog pouch, like a dog hip holster, doggy fanny pack, a dog backpack, dog back.
She just looks at the rest of you again apologetically.
Navori snickers.
Jess is thinking about another drink.
Sybil is looking at Boon like dog with the backpack, just thinking about it.
Thanks, these are really neat. Is someone not him alright without something? Because he's so small. Navori points at the rat on her shoulder.
Oh, yeah, ew. But,
Wow.
sorry, yeah, things that are small enough like him.
Yeah.
They're coated in, let's just call it sigillian filth.
Oh. Okay. I
Yeah,
think.
like you can't bathe a rat.
I mean, you can.
No, you can't ever really bathe a rat. They are full of sin.
Wait, are we talking about how rats are gross, or does sigillian filth have something to do with staying within the timeline?
I mean,
That's what I'm hoping.
if you are covered in sigillian filth, he has a piece of sigil with him at all times, as long as you don't fucking dunk him in water and soap him down.
All the sigil germs.
Pretty much. The sort of thing that, you know, if you go to an unknown plane, you could really get in trouble for spreading a sigil disease. Or, you know, you could get a deadly disease because you don't
Devori's
have
just
the
kind of
immunity,
like at
you know.
first she was really excited, and now she looks like she has sort of a blank kind of "you have offended me" look, and I'm just waiting. for you
Nave,
to
don't
go
look
through
at her
this.
like that. You, what she's saying is you're immune to all sigil-borne diseases because you've been rubbing that rat all up in your hands.
I don't think that's quite what was being
I mean,
said, but sure.
Technically, it's what I was saying.
Yeah, you've got
I
the
just wanted to know if he'd
constitution
be
of an
alright or
ox.
not, but
Yeah, he'll be fine. Just don't soap him up. He'll be fine.
okay.
I mean, don't let him go super far away. In case.
Yeah, no, not no.
Don't let him get all ratty with other planar rats. Oh, yeah.
Minna pushes her
Boris-
plate away. She's done eating. It's not done, but she's done.
Your rat isn't allowed to fuck.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no,
wasn't
I
Sybil! I'm so sorry about her. I'm so
It's
sorry.
fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, now that I have done what I came to do, I heard there was free food here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This is fucking good. Look at all of this.
Do you want me to go get you a plate?
Yeah, I haven't eaten all day, and she just looks back at the crowd nervously, and yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Sybil goes to just get, like, a ton of stuff. But,
Okay.
like, very carefully. The basic food groups. She's gotta make sure her sister has a healthy meal.
Phoebe looks really distraught when there's like greens on the plate. Not like in the ew, but in the like, man, you could have given me infinite pie.
She has a pie, but she also has to eat the Brussels sprouts.
All right, so unless anyone wants to do anything specific, you guys spend the rest of the evening drinking, getting drunk in some cases, eating with Phoebe, just chatting up with her. She seems pretty comfortable around you guys, but anytime she looks back at the crowd, you see that like she shrinks in her robes a little bit before conversing back with your little but then yeah, one by one you head up into your shared or otherwise room and catch some Z's. Any objections?
Nope. Time to
Okay.
pass out from disassociating.
Yeah.
Goodness.
So you guys catch your rest. 8 hours passes, dawn of the next day, whatever you want to call it.
The moon is closer.
Yeah, the moon's a little bit closer and its
It
grid
has a
has gotten
face.
weirder. Yeah, it's really upsetting. Kess, give me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh no.
Okay. Oh, fuck is my constitution?
Roll like the
No.
wind.
Not deep.
Damn.
Oh my god.
You drank
Ah.
like a thirsty horse. You wake up feeling fantastic.
Oh my god.
And nothing of value was learned.
One of the few people who drinks a ton and wakes up feeling better.
Yeah.
God.
She comes downstairs, she drinks her coffee, nothing is wrong.
Yeah.
She doesn't look like she has a hangover despite the 110% alcohol she drank last night.
Jesus.
Technically, she should be dead.
Yeah,
Technically.
Sybil is looking at her with extreme suspicion.
Yeah, so, you guys, do you all come downstairs?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yup.
Okay. As you guys are eating breakfast, Ardania comes rushing over. And, Minnow, are you having fun with your friends?
I like that they just came downstairs and then Artani is just like,
It's the only time she's free. Leave her alone.
Yeah.
I know, but it's adorable.
Oh, Tajania, we've gone shopping yesterday. We've had. She looks over everybody. I am ready to start a new day.
Wonderful. Well, do you mind if I eat breakfast with you? I haven't had a chance to eat this morning, and
Oh, please.
I've not eaten with my niece in some time.
She scoots on over to make room for her aunt.
Does
Ardania's-
Ardania have a plate?
Yeah, she came over carrying one. It was
Oh,
one of those,
okay.
like, asking but not. You know, when your parents, like, can I eat dinner with you? And they already have their plate fixed up, and you're like,
When they, yeah.
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Sybil seems perfectly happy to have Ardania eat with them. Just
Yeah, no
she,
worries.
if there's family members involved, she's almost always down. That's just the kind of person Sybil is.
Ardania in between bites is like, oh, so shopping again today, or to start jobs? What's the plan?
I mean, that's a good question. I think we're gonna go back, like, to the shop because there were some things that people wanted to get, like, custom made or whatever.
Well,
Right.
Sybil looks at Clive and she's like, yeah, but we gotta, like, investigate some personal business.
Yeah, I don't know the order of events. Just you
Uh,
know,
The
These things
woman
can
in
happen.
the woman in the that sent the letter.
I mean, I was planning on looking into that myself. Y'all don't have to.
I can put out a word.
I
If you
mean,
like.
if you want to go alone, you can. I just figured, like, we would help you. Or, I mean, I
Yeah.
would help you
I
if
mean,
you want
same.
help.
Clive just shrugged.
Let
Up to
me
y'all.
let me go get the information I have of where she might be staying. Yes.
Oh, yeah, that'd be helpful.
Just
After you've
wondering.
eaten, of course.
Oh yeah, of course. Oh Minnow, you're so. Oh, you're the sweetest girl. You know that, right?
She goes right back to her noble
Um,
battle.
Yeah, there's like a solid like minute and a half where Danya is complimenting Minnow in very high ways.
Sybil just agrees with it all and, like, looks so delighted. Like, just secondhand delight.
Um, yes, but chasing after this woman, Sigil, that's completely impractical. I've got a little bit of information about where she was staying and all of that. And she finishes eating and then, oh, be right back. And she shuffles over to her desk and starts pulling things out. And you see little explosions of paper as she's digging deep. And she eventually pulls something out, and it's like a little note card that she comes back with and sets it on the table. And, well, it seems that she's staying at the Sunflare Inn. That's
Sounds
up near
fancy.
Yeah, it's where the bourgeoisie stay sometimes. It's near it's on the border of the Kar and Judah district, so you know, depending on where you're shopping, it's probably pretty close to there.
Hey, what did she look like, by the way? I don't remember ever hearing a description.
Kind of pale skin, kind of ruddy hair. It's like red, but not like flaming red.
So, like, mine, Sybil asks, and, like, she kind of has hair like that
Oh.
description, I guess.
Sort of, yeah. She looked a little tatty around the edges, but that might have just been, you know, tired from coming wherever she was. I believe she said her name was Alice?
Or he just
Sybil
looks at
looks at
Clive.
Clive.
Yeah.
Clyde, you said
Doesn't ring a
before
bell.
that- yeah. Well, don't sound familiar. Suppose we can go talk to her whenever she shows up, or we can go over there.
Sybil is gonna. I'm gonna waste a roll because Sybil is 100% suspicious that this is some, like, long lost lover drama, but she's wrong, and I wanna roll to see if she continues to hold this belief.
Okay.
So is that insight?
Yeah.
She totally believes it. She has this conviction about her that this is 100% a jilted lover.
Okay.
She's welcome to think that, I guess.
Entitled to her wrong opinion.
Okay. Yeah. So, what's the plan?
Well, some of us are going back to the magic store, right?
I
Are we
believe
talking
so.
in character or out of character?
Out of character.
Okay.
Uh,
I don't know.
Out of
what
character,
order they wanna
Sybil's
do it.
probably gonna follow Clive.
Yeah,
just-
Navori's just gonna follow.
I mean, if they need to
Wherever.
pick up stuff from the store, we can do that first, I guess. I don't know.
Well, they were just going to talk about custom items, so we can really do it whenever during the
That's
day.
true. Except for the
Yeah.
apple.
Yeah.
I mean, the bear apple can wait.
And then we immediately need a bear.
Oh shit, a bear would be perfect for this situation.
Yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. Navori's just gonna follow Clive too. Whoever's doing something that sounds interesting.
Yeah, I mean, we had a shopping episode last session.
Okay.
Well,
So you guys head to the Sunburst Inn, or tavern rather. Ardania gives you pretty accurate directions, all things considered. She does mention that there is something called the Lightning Rail in, and she is very excited that it's going to be done within the next few months. It's supposed to make travel very easy between the districts. But it does take you guys about 2 hours of walking to get there. I actually don't have a picture for this, I don't think, and I keep going to the wrong goddamn thing. Right, so you guys head on out, making your way downtown, da-da-da-da-da, song. Before turning the corner, where you do see in the distance the maybe not so familiar high marble walls of the Judah district that's sequestered off from the rest of Sigil in its bougie glory. But in front of you is a pretty standard looking tavern outside. Above the door is the picture of a sun with like extra sun rays bursting out of it. It's elaborate and looks like they paid way too much money for it. From the outside, you can see that there are very few people in the inn right now. It is technically the quote-unquote middle of the day. But there are some people sitting around. You can't really get a bead on it until you go in, but yeah, it seems like there are definitely people in there and it's not abandoned or closed. So do you guys just head right in?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so, if no one's stopping us.
Alright. Yeah, you head in. There's a little jingling noise as you door. Looking up, you see that there is a bell above the door. It is a standard looking inn to the degree that you briefly wonder, why is it in this part of town? Like, this is where rich things happen. Behind the bar, you do see rather tall, gangly-looking individual with long, pointed ears, pouring out some drinks. Maybe it's a little too early for drinks. You're not one to judge, or you are, in some cases. There are about 4 people in this inn, seated around the various tables. They are lifted stools and lifted tables. The floor is made out of a nice cherry wood, while the walls are... They look like they are like a pale sort of wood. They are lacquered in such a way that it catches the light in an interesting fashion. You see one of the individuals is indeed a woman with long red hair. She's wearing what looks like might have once been a trench coat, but is now just kind of long strips of leather. Almost like a cape around her.
Carmen
And
San Diego.
yes.
Stop.
She's not wearing a hat.
Shit.
And she looks like she's eating something. Or like breakfast or lunch, maybe. Just kind of chowing down. Doesn't notice you guys.
Sybil's gonna kind of not, like, hang back, kind of mingle around somewhere else, maybe order a drink at the bar, because crowding that woman just seems like it's gonna be a bad idea.
Maria finds a
Navori
corner.
Navori kind of hides behind Cass unless Cass goes too far away that she can't hear what's going on, and then she'd find somewhere else to pretend to be occupied while she absolutely eavesdrops.
I'm gonna go speak to her, I guess. And y'all gonna join me, or you just
Oh, Mario.
find corners to hide out?
No, Mario, follow Clive.
I mean, Sybil isn't hiding. She's at the bar straight up ordering a drink.
Alright, the individual greets you. You order... What do you order? Just
I
standard?
don't know, probably something carbonated and slightly fancy.
Okay. You order a Sigillian popper,
Hell yeah.
and it runs you 50 silver.
Hell yeah.
Overpriced as fuck.
Uh-huh. But yeah, it's delicious and carbonated and pops in your mouth, and you're pretty sure if you drank it too fast, you might float. Anyway, the rest of you guys approach the individual, and she looks up, and she looks out at you, and her lips spread into a smile as she swallows, and you see that she has a very youthful, kind of handsome face. She doesn't really look like an adventurer, but strapped at her hip is a very long, wicked-looking curved sword. She just leans over on the table, props her elbow up, and leans her head on her fist, and hi there.
Good day.
Y'all Clive, right? Clive and his companions.
Navori sticks out a thumbs up from behind Cass.
That'd be us, but wouldn't it be proper for you to introduce yourself first?
Oh, yeah, silly me. I'm Alice. I was told to come find someone, really, and I heard... Tell me I should have been looking for you, buddy.
That's so. Who exactly sent you looking for me?
Well, why don't you take a seat and we'll have a chat about that,
Clive
She
takes a
gestures
seat.
to the seat. And she smiles and just kind of looks at you for a moment before continuing on with... I ain't know their names, not really, no. Out in Barovia, though, they hired some to come... Or they hired me, really, as a messenger of sorts. I was just passing through. And they hired me to come find some adventurers that'd go help them. Believe it or not. Something with the vampire troubles, which is kind of flavor there. It's vampire this, vampire that. They're right fuckers. Yeah, and I came here to Sigil and tell from Ardania back there that there's a man looking for vampires himself, and, well, I thought it might be convenient.
So this, what'd you call it? Barovia place?
Ah, yeah, it's where them vampires, I understand it.
Clive like scratches his beard.
Sybil
So
at
you
this
don't
point
know
has
anything?
come over.
Okay.
But no, you
Good.
can go.
Clive was just going to say, so you don't know anything else about these people that asked you to find adventures?
Oh, I know they're the remnants of whatever's left there. Many, but you know how it goes sometimes. They didn't give me a name, they just gave me a small sack of gold. Said, can you go look for some help? And I said, sure thing, anything for a bit of coin. It's coming back here anyway.
Were you going to say something, Sybil? Or-
Oh no, I was trying not to cough.
Oh.
Sorry.
That's okay. Well, if this is supposed to be the home plane or whatever of vampires, and I suppose it's where I need to go next.
Good man, good man. Now I can't tell you much about the place. It's a little one of those wobbly places, you know, the sort where the time doesn't make much sense. God knows how long it's been since I came and went, but I have to imagine they're still looking for you.
Well, if nothing else, maybe I'll find something I'm looking for there. Maybe kill a few damn vampires along the way, too.
Yeah, they're proper fuckers. None of them deserve to be alive. Moving, I guess, since most of them ain't alive.
But
Anyway,
what
hope
was
you
that?
weren't expecting anything dramatic from me.
Speaking of dramatic, Sybil doesn't trust this woman. Can I do a perception check on her mouth? Because she's straight up trying to get a glimpse of her teeth.
That would be investigation.
Investigate her mouth!
It is very specific.
Okay,
You
a
got,
natural
Oh my
20.
you got a pretty mouth.
Yeah.
No!
Stop!
To the rest of you, it looks like Sybil's just kind of checking this woman out.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
tracks.
that's not out of the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, she's got human teeth.
Sybil feels disappointed because she had a lot of assumptions about this woman and none of them were true.
Clive's favorite enemy is undead, so if this person were a vampire, it'd be very, very hard for him to not know.
Yeah.
Navari kind of peeks out from behind Cass and is like, you know, like, where these people were that were looking for help? Like, going
They
into a
popped.
weird plane, not knowing where to go is sort of, yeah.
They I was passing through some of their tunnels. They were near the entrance to the. Well, there's a big tree near the portal. You'll see it. They were down there.
Navari's like, got it, thanks. She goes back.
She taps 2 fingers to her forehead and with a little salute.
Navari kind of scribbles a thing down in a notebook because, I mean, last time it was just like, hey, we're just gonna walk. And she doesn't know how she feels about that in a plane where there's a bunch of vampires, so.
Now, if y'all got nothing else, I'll get on with the meal. Yes, no, maybe so.
Clive looks around. Anyone else have anything they want to say?
Sybil looks at Clive because she's pretty much gonna.
Clive
what
looks
about
at
you?
Cass.
Cass has just been listening. He has nothing to add to this.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I suppose I'll at least make my way to Barovia. Whether or not y'all come with me, I mean, that's up to you.
I mean, I think that's probably obvious by now, yeah?
Yeah.
Clive just shrugged.
Well, you're stuck with us.
Alright, well, it ain't like you're gonna get much of a reward out of this.
Well, I get to see
mean,
Barovia,
not
don't I?
really.
Well, from the sound of things, it ain't exactly a nice vacation destination.
But at least I saw it.
Hey, this is part of what you want to do, so we're here for it, yeah?
Well, if that's what y'all want to do. Clive seems very...
Oh no, you cut out.
You
Very
cut
well.
out.
I don't know.
Oh no.
Huh?
Hello?
Clive just seems very withdrawn about when it comes to like them saying they'll come along. Like he's not disagreeing, but he's like, all right, whatever. It's up to you guys. I'm not gonna ask you to.
Boy.
Oh no. Navori kind of peeks out again and is like, thanks for the letter and stuff.
Just doing what I got paid to do.
And she kind of sort of skittles back a bit. Like, leave the lady alone now if no one else is gonna say anything, because it's kind of weird.
Sybil
to have,
looks like she
six
has-
people standing around.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Sybil looks like she has 6 different remarks and none of them she can say in front of this woman.
Yeah, no.
Uh,
Clive got nothing else to say, so he gets up.
Alright, as you guys turn to leave, Alice gives you a wink, Minnow, before going back to eating.
Clive is going to
Okay.
wait until they are all like outside of the tavern.
Sybil, as she's walking out, is gonna say, "Ugh, I don't like her. There's only room for one redhead with a funny accent and a really cool sword and sigil, and that's me."
In sigil.
Well, once they're out of the tavern, Clive's gonna check around to see if anyone is watching them or like hanging out nearby, like within eavesdropping range.
Alright, make a perception check.
Clive's very suspicious right now.
Oh
Well,
no.
damn.
Oh no.
Your suspicion is making it pretty difficult to get a good bearing on your surroundings. You just got a lot of stuff all at once.
Does Clive obviously look suspicious? Like, does he look uneasy? Is he looking around a lot?
He-
Kind of.
He doesn't necessarily look uneasy, but he is kind of like looking around. He kind of has this very suspicious look on his face,
Okay.
like he's thinking.
Sybil is gonna say, just as she walks up next to Clive, that was suspicious.
Oh, you thought so too, huh?
Yeah, I
I mean,
mean,
it's sort of weird. You're looking for anything in particular out here?
you
Navori's
think
kind
someone's trying to bait you back to Barovia, because that's what I'm thinking.
Clive shrugs. I mean, suppose it's possible. Either way, I'm going.
Navori just looks around on principle to see if she can see anything suspicious, but she doesn't really know what she's looking for.
I mean, yeah, go ahead and roll.
Is it perception?
Yep.
Okay, she doesn't have her knife out, so. Damn.
Um,
She's good at looking for weird shit, I guess.
It doesn't. You don't see anybody nearby.
Okay. She's like, well, if you're looking for people, I don't see no one around. That are weird, anyway.
Well, either way, I don't think we should be standing out in the middle of the street talking about this.
Yeah, I agree.
I am actually going to be needing to run by that shop again.
Agreed, especially if we're going vampire hunting.
Place that sounds like it's teeming with undead. I need to prepare myself a bit better.
Right. out of character, does Navori know much about how to deal with undead? I have no idea, honestly.
No.
Okay, so she's like,
It's okay. Clive's an expert.
Can you like give us some pointers about what to do with these fuckers?
Well,
Aside from, just like beat them to
the
fucking
lesser
hell.
ones like zombies and risen skeletons and whatnot ain't too bad. Vampires, though, they're a whole other story. You gotta really watch yourself around.
Are they weak to anything? Like I
Anything
heard
radiant or
weird shit.
holy. Anything
Ooh, good.
anything you got that's ordained by some kind of god or
Hey, you hear that, buddy?
Sybil is like listening, but she looks a little confused because the only thing she knows about vampires is whatever she's tolerated in erotica trying to impress a girl.
We'll say this, though.
I am so upset now.
One piece of advice for all of you, though. One of them comes up to you acting all nice and friendly. You respond to them by putting an arrow in their head or a dagger in their gut. Don't even give them a chance to speak. They ain't people.
Sybil opens her mouth as if she has a question, but then she thinks better of it, and she just nods.
Navori kind of looks at Cass to see her reaction to that, even though she doesn't think Cass will have a reaction.
Cass seems to nod with that.
Okay, she's like, all right, okay, so they're not people.
Anything they say to get you to try to let your guard down around or be peaceable toward, it's all a lie. There ain't a spot of goodness in any of them.
So,
All right, deceptive
here's
as fuck.
Minnow, roll history check for me, please.
Oh, good. Because I was going to ask if she even knows what this crap is. Oh, character history. 18.
ooh.
All right. As Clive is talking, you find yourself agreeing with him, as you are pretty well read, as in the sense that you are educated, especially on martial matters. You were taught not the intricacies, but a general idea of most things that could be fought, and undead were certainly one of them.
Okay.
And everything Clive is saying is true. You also know to go for the head.
Yeah.
Also,
Okay.
double tap.
Double tap. Save a life.
Uh-huh.
Heard
Thank
rumors
you.
that if you take a wooden stake and stab it through the heart, it'll either at least paralyze them or kill them. But I ain't never had the chance to test if that's true or not. And there's a lot of misinformation out there, especially when it comes to undead.
So should we
Hey.
get like a bunch of sharpened wood things before we go?
No, I think your dagger will suffice.
So, I have a question, just because, are we gonna have to murder any elected officials, royals, political figures?
Depends. Are they a vampire?
Are they? I'm asking you!
Clive shrugs. He's like, if they're a vampire, then yeah.
Alright, I mean, I'm just trying to keep my expectations realistic for what this visit's gonna be like. It's gonna be a lot of murder, seems
Well,
like. Alright.
Okay, so apparently, if what we
Well-
heard's true,
They're already dead.
Hmm.
Fair.
You're
Uh,
just putting them back where they belong.
it's like a town of not that many people left being harassed by him close to the start of a portal. So, I mean, if there are a lot of elected officials doing the harassing, I don't know, but
That's just a revolution, not a problem.
Suppose we'll have to just go there and see what the situation is.
yeah,
Is
I'm
it
not
true
sure.
that they don't like werewolves?
Well, that's the thing.
I mean, I think most things don't like werewolves.
I mean, not female rights is in the mid-40s, but that's another subject entirely.
I hate you so much.
What would the mid-40s even mean in the context of Sigil?
Mid-40s age.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Human lifespan's about the same.
it's Sigil. There's no natural predators except the city.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I ain't never run into a vampire, or God, sorry, I ain't never run into a werewolf myself, but I ain't keen on giving it a chance to be friends if it comes rushing at me with its claws out.
You know,
Okay, so wait, we're not killing those immediately, though?
okay. I
Use
mean,
your
this
own
might
discretion.
This might not matter, but I read a thing where they were fighting against each other. I don't remember all the specifics, kind of glazed over that because it went over my head a lot, but
Is
like,
that in your historic fanfic book?
yes, it is.
Alright.
Well, we can keep that in our heads, but let's not treat
Yeah,
it
I
as
mean, if
fact.
they're fighting, maybe like, be like, hey, well, maybe they don't like each other. Others are in league with them though, so toss
Enemy,
up.
the enemy of my enemy, right?
Navori shrugs.
I mean, basically, I'm gonna do whatever you want to do, Clive, pretty much.
Well, it's good and all, but don't just listen to me. Use your head.
The last time I did that, yeah. So I think I'm just gonna follow the orders on this one.
Well, you do whatever suits you.
Sybil seems distressed.
Well, how about for the nonce we go and look at some preparations?
Yeah.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
All right. Give me one moment. Just
No, you get no
realize.
moments.
Fuck off.
Absolutely zero.
Moment is up.
It's
sorry, I was like-
past.
You're now accruing interest on that moment.
I couldn't help thinking of Eddie while Clive was talking about vampires.
Stop!
I'm sorry.
Just trying not to laugh.
I mean, Eddie and Clive would probably agree.
I got this crossbow bolt blessed by an Omoyochi.
Got the film.
Actually, no. Eddie would be like, why would you get a crossbow bolt by an Onmyo? They don't know how to deal with vampires. They ain't got vampires in Japan.
God.
I had to take a second to think about that. I was like, do they not?
They do. Sort of.
Oh,
They
they're just
actually do.
different. I like to think that Max is rolling up like the percentage of how many bears appear when you throw the apple.
Oh
Maybe
my
God.
we'll give the apple to somebody else later.
That's how we'll kill Strahd. A
Okay, but
stampede of bears.
What if someone eats the apple? What happens then?
Bad,
Does
very
the bear
bad.
just
They
appear
vomit
inside
bears,
them?
obviously.
They turn into a werebear.
Shit.
Oh
Okay.
my god.
So, all right, for the sake of keeping the narrative moving without dropping into more shopping, you guys head back to Amazing Artifices.
Yes.
You are once more greeted with Adem. He offers you this apple.
Oh, it's just like the start of the Trojan War.
It is called,
Jesus.
for your own item purposes, where'd it go?
I'm trying to
Bear
think.
apple.
It's
Bear
called the
apple?
Bapple.
The bear apple. As an action, you may throw this apple up to 60 feet. Upon landing, the apple summons 1d6 bears. The bears are neither friendly nor immediately
Fuck.
harmful to any
It's not
creatures.
even one bear, it's
No,
26 bears.
Adem seems very proud of him. This costs, he asks for 50 silver for one.
I already gave him the 50 silver.
Okay, wasn't sure. So, when Maria and Clive, you guys ask about custom stuff for your crossbow and
Yeah.
gun, correct?
Correct.
He says that he had been actually thinking about some of these items overnight. He came up with 2 things that he could kind of cook up quickly. One of which is called the Arcane Barrel. For 50 gold, he tells you once per full rest, you may swap the elemental properties of your shots. You may choose between fire, ice, and thunder damage types. All shots using this weapon are now magical in nature.
Yes.
Okay, that's 50 gold. It is called the Arcane Barrel.
She forks it over.
You may add that to your inventory. If it doesn't look right, we'll fix it. For Clive, he tells you about something he invented called the Arrow Split. He seems especially proud of this one and says, for you, Clive, it's 25 gold. He likes your face.
Clive will take it.
All right.
He also will ask for if he has any vials of holy water and scrolls of protection from evil.
Cass tells him. Cass is like,
You cut out, Nino, unless
Yeah.
you're just being quiet.
God damn it. Cass is like, pretty sure I can.
You cut out again.
Serious? What the fuck is
Yeah.
going off my headset? She says she can probably bless water.
Okay.
Clive's like, okay.
Yeah, Maury's
He
like,
wasn't sure with you being a fallen paladin and whatnot.
oh wow. Arr.
Rude.
Oh my God,
Wow.
stop fighting.
Okay. Anyway, he tells you that this is called the Arrow Split. Using your action, you may designate up to 2 creatures for an attack with this weapon. Each attack must be rolled separately, and upon hitting a creature, these attacks do 1d6 plus mod damage to the designated creature.
Neat.
You cannot
Oh.
use, it uses your entire action
Wrote
twice,
that down
sort of.
somewhere.
Um,
So I
It
will never-
is, you can add it to your inventory.
Okay, you made like a thing for it.
Yeah, I made it for Arcane Barrel, the Bear Apple, and
The Babble.
and Arrow
The
Split.
babble.
Yeah, the Babble. Hold on. Let me go ahead and
Or the Bearple.
The babble.
hold on. I'm gonna rename that as the Babble.
I like Bapple conceptually because it implies that the bear will come out and they'll just
Not-
bap you with his
Not to be
paw.
confused with the Babble.
That's completely different.
Okay. Yeah. Real quick, can you guys go into your inventories and see if you can add these?
Yeah, I just did.
I will
Okay.
make an
And
attempt.
roll 20?
No, in D&D Beyond, right?
Yeah. D&D Beyond. Sorry.
Um,
Because I want to make sure everything is good.
This was
and-
called what? Arrow Split?
Yes, Arrow Split, all one word. I just want to make sure while I am thinking about it, and they've already stepped AFK
Ah.
briefly, so.
yes. Oh, does that mean what was the pipe called that I bought?
Pipe of or
Smoke monsters?
No, it was like I think it was magic pipe. Let me.
Because I
Let's
see
see.
pipe of smoke monsters that's doing exactly what you
Yes,
described. I
that
just
is
want to
it.
be sure.
Yes. Is there anything else anyone wanted to buy while you are here?
Cass buys a whole bunch of potion bottles and fills them with water.
Okay. That he charges you like 5 silver or 5 copper per bottle. Okay.
Yeah, she gets like 5 of them.
Okay, so 25 copper, not much. Or I think that's 2 silver, 5 copper.
Sure. How much? She just puts. You know what? She puts down a gold and she shoves a whole bunch of potion bottles into her like knapsack.
Okay.
Because I cannot be asked to do the math.
Yeah, that's fine.
How many does she have, Max?
5.
5. Okay.
Or wait, how many did you say? Sorry.
I said a gold. She's just.
Fuck off.
It's fine. She takes as many
Yeah,
as
there
he has.
there is not a gold's worth available,
Yeah,
so you get 10.
10. That's perfect.
A gold's worth would be like 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question.
Yes.
Maria's gonna look at them and ask, tell me what you know about interplanar mail delivery.
He just kind of looks at you
If I want-
and gives you a spiel about a mechanical owl
Uh-huh.
that could probably go through portals if necessary.
Alright.
It is very expensive,
Well,
though.
what about stationary that just goes?
He gives you a very long, suffering smile and just says, "That's not possible."
Why not? Never mind. Alright, thank you.
All right. Cool. Is there anything else? I have a stopping point. I
I
just
don't
want to
think
get
so.
us to.
I'm good.
I
Oh,
think we're
heck.
good.
Mm.
All right. So you guys head out, and you do know, as you passed it near the Feywild portal, the Rovia portal is in that direction. So without further ado, you head that way. It takes you a little bit. It's now kind of early evening as you get to the portal. You've been walking a lot today. And you see that the Barovia portal looks more like a door than the Feywild one did. It's this kind of, it looks like it's built into the side of a wall. Just like a brick wall. There's not quite a door handle on it, but it's definitely a one-person thing. Not much foot traffic around it. In fact, the ramp near it looks relatively untended, and the guards don't seem to really be paying Barovia portal much mind. In fact, you guys wandering kind of close to it, but not quite walking up to it, catches the eye of a guard, and he looks at you and, "You know, no one's gone in there for some time, right? People have
We're
come
going
out."
in there.
All right, don't let me stop you.
Civil
okay.
nods.
Yeah, he quickly gives you the, "I don't get paid enough for this" look. So, are you guys going to start on your second planar adventure?
Sure.
I'm sorry I went AFK. Was there any more preparations that people made? Because Ori can bless things too if they were gonna do that. It just takes like a while.
It takes an hour. And
Yeah.
actually 25 gold, so.
Okay. So, you guys head on through the Barovia portal?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
All right.
Sybil briefly remembers that she wanted to get a hat, and she's like, "Shit!" And then she just goes through the portal anyway.
That's it. That's the running gag.
She's
All
never
right.
gonna get a hat.
Will she ever?
You step through the portal one by one. And briefly, you feel like you're going to be sick. Maybe it's the way that the world begins to spin around you, wobbling side to side, like you're on a crazy fair ride. Or maybe it's the way that your stomach suddenly drops as you feel this strange tugging sensation drag across your skin, like you're being pulled in two separate directions at once. This is wholly unlike the sensation that you felt when you were going through the Feywild. Or maybe it's the scent of stale old mud that carries on the breeze that barely seems to blow. You now stand beneath a sky that's smeared with dark clouds that look like they've come out of an oil painting. Before you is what looks like the remnants of a village, or maybe it's just the remnants of something else entirely. But from this distance, you can tell that there's something distinctly off about it. The ground beneath you is immediately known, or you can immediately tell that it's flaky. It's dried something as you're stepping across it, crunching beneath your feet, flaking up clouds of dust and dirt. Behind you, the portal is just kind of a gap in reality. It looks like there might have once been a structure built up around it, but whatever was built around it is now gone. Lending credence to the thought that a portal only has a structure around it because people built it, not because that's anything that's necessary. The sky is not quite blotted out, but the sun is little more than a small orange speck that casts not a ton of light from behind these thick, roiling clouds. What do you do?
First thing Clive is gonna do is look at our general surrounding.
Oh,
Is there anything that
there was a tree.
Yes, and about a tree. Navori's kind of scrunching up her nose like she doesn't like it. I mean,
Did
even
it?
though she's used to shitty places, she's like, this reminds me of shit, and I don't like this shit.
Did it always look like this here?
Cass is gonna use Divine Sense. See if there's
Um,
anyone nearby
Okay.
or anything.
What is the range on that?
60 feet.
Okay. You guys feel this light pulse come out from Kess, and Kess, you do not detect any undead, or you do not detect anything near you.
Well, there's nothing in the immediate vicinity.
Good. I fucking don't like this place. Wet tree, right?
Hmm.
Navori's gonna look around for a big tree near
Yeah.
the portal.
All right, give me a perception check.
She's got her dagger out now. She doesn't like it.
Yeah, Sybil's gonna just kind of casually make her sword appear.
I see nothing.
11.
You are both very unsettled by this, and you see the village, and that's all that's really in front of you.
Yeah. Vari also gets her shield to a place where she can get it easily. She's just like,
So, do they see like anything that might be the tree?
You don't see the tree. No. This group of structures makes it hard to see anything beyond it, really.
I'm gonna have to go in here. I don't fucking like it. Wait. And Vari kind of goes through her shitty notebook real quick to make sure, because she really doesn't want to wander around this place without knowing where they're going. Like, that does not seem like a good idea to her. And she's just like, okay, so the tree was near the portal, but there are also some like tunnels somewhere.
Under the tree,
Looking
I
for
believe.
that, yeah. Okay, where are we gonna go?
Into the buildings, I suppose, or the village, or whatever it is.
I suppose it's a decent enough first place to start. Well,
Mm.
keep your guard up.
Alright, you guys just heading towards the village?
Yep.
Yup.
Okay. As you walk closer, you begin to find the remnants of cobblestone streets. Every so often, there are stretches of streets, but then there are breaks in it where it looks like something large either stepped through it or broke this road, leaving.
How large?
There are just massive gaps of the road missing, and they taper off into patches of mud that's still somewhat fresh. It squishes beneath your boots, kind of uncomfortably. And everything is quiet. You proceed further into the village. I want everyone to make stealth rolls.
Oh boy.
Okay.
Stealth.
Unless you're not trying to be quiet.
Oh. Well,
you know, Cass.
she gets disadvantage on it, so I'll roll.
Oh man, Minnow.
7.
No,
Alright.
15.
There's times I'm like, I'm wondering about Pass Without a Trace, but I've
Alright,
not encountered
so
anything
you
yet.
guys
Sybil
are-
is way too colorful to be stealthy right now.
Yeah. Minnow, you're pretty uncomfortable here. This is very much out of your depth. And that combined with kind of the last few days, you're not being very quiet. So you head in, and you find nothing but the remnants of a village. By remnants, I mean there are like taverns or buildings that have giant pieces missing from them, rotted away. And the deeper into this village you go, the stronger the smell of decay comes at you on this breeze that seems like it's not really going anywhere. It only serves the purpose of making things smell worse. There are no signs of life anywhere in here until you hear the distant flap of wings. And looking up, you see a handful of black birds take off and take flight into the darkened sky.
That's not ominous or anything. Has Mari ever been here before?
No.
Okay.
Not that you can remember.
Not that she can remember. Nothing. No memories triggered.
No. As you continue to walk, actually, yeah, Minnow, since you rolled so low on stealth,
Oh dear.
you take a step and you stumble, almost falling down, and you look back and there are bones sticking out of the ground, picked completely clean. Not bleached because they are still submerged in the gunk that is all over the ground.
And at this point, she probably like cough gagged involuntarily. That smell and bones and all that.
Yeah, you pull yourself to your feet, very unhappy with this situation at this point. And it continues to be silent and dead. You walk for a few moments more, or not moments, minutes more, and then in the distance you do see the looming shape of branches stretching high like gnarled witches' fingers. Large. They are large even from this distance. You can only imagine how big they will be when you're closer.
That looks like a tree big enough to have tunnels under it.
Yeah.
Alright. So, you guys just head off that way, or?
Yeah.
Sybil's gonna just have a look-see around because she's feeling a little suspicious. She feels like they might be followed or something.
Alright, give me a perception.
Right. 18.
You're keeping an eye out as you go, and as everyone else kind of turns to look at the tree, you're keeping an eye around you instead, and don't see anything at all.
That doesn't really relieve any of her suspicion, and she just says, hey, doesn't it seem a little odd that it's completely desolate? Is that normal, Clive?
I mean, vampires don't leave much in their wake, but I ain't seen something at this level.
Cass, does your divine sense keep rolling? Sorry.
No, I think
Okay.
she has to use it again, which now that they're like talking about it, she will do.
Okay. Once more. There's nothing.
Okay.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Whole place just feels kind of dead.
Yeah, I'm even starting to wonder, like, if we get to where we're going and there's nothing there like this, then what? I mean, I hope not, but jeez.
I don't think that's going to be the case.
Well,
Just feel like it's too quiet. Anytime something's too quiet, the quiet comes to a head.
Well, let's keep moving for now.
Yeah. Something will notice us if we stand still.
I'm presuming you guys are heading in the direction of the tree now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As you go, you continue to pass these homes, maybe, that are rotting away. There are some that look like they were once made out of stone with giant chunks blown out of them. Sometimes you have to skip over some of the cobblestones that were once the street because stepping on them looks like they would push deeper into whatever this muck is you're walking in. As you head closer to the tree, the muck grows deeper, and each step brings out this awful stench.
It's fine.
I have a bad feeling.
It's not fun.
You continue walking. It takes, I don't know, about 5 more minutes of walking until you get close enough to this tree to gain a bit of a semblance of what things look like. And you begin walking through muddy fields. You're stepping away from some of the buildings, and there's the road that is shattered that continues to lead you towards this tree. You start passing by empty, dead, smaller trees, like this was once some sort of grove. Off to one side, you see 3 huts of some sort. They don't look any better off than any of the other buildings. And still, it's dead and quiet. And, I need Clive, Sybil, Minnow. Clive, Sybil, Minnow, make perception rolls.
A 2.
Nailed
Okay.
it.
So, as you guys are walking, Sybil, you are concerned but distracted. Minnow and Clive, you both see 2 things happening. Minnow, off to the side, motion catches your eye, and you turn to look, and you see something crawling around outside one of the huts. It seems like it's moving around on all, but it is deathly pale, and it skitters instead of really moving quickly. Clive, you get close enough. You guys are now close enough to the tree where you can see several things crawling through the branches, but also underneath the base of the tree where they crawl down and in.
What is crawling?
Yeah.
You're just describing some ambiguous thing crawling, and I'm unsettled.
Yeah, 1-800, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, let's do this.
Oh dear.
I need everyone to
Let's
roll
do this.
initiative.
Yes!
Oh!
Jesus.
I was literally about to
boy.
type /initiative.
Yeah. I was sitting here like, it's kind of late, but
We
you
don't
guys
like
are a
it.
little too invested to let off here, I think.
Yes.
I was so prepared for this initiative roll.
Mm-hmm.
Me
It's fine.
too.
Yeah.
Damn!
I can keep
Rory hates it.
I can keep doing this. Whatever keeps me like awake and doing things.
Oh my god. Some of
Clive
them are
and
like,
Maria, meanwhile.
Cass and Minnow are just like, eh. Oh, and Sybil.
Yes.
it's like half the party really hates this, and the other party's just like, oh, I don't wanna.
I can use my initiative tracker.
Cass is just back here like, well, time to smash.
All right, let's see. It is
Yes,
Clive.
It's always Clive. His
Yeah.
stupid freaking like plus
Oh
8
my
bonus.
God.
To be fair,
That's why
That's just how
where you
rangers
should
do.
have the initiative.
No, it's
Sorry,
because I took the alertness feat.
Navori.
Which means you can't sneak up on me. I have high initiative.
Minnow and Sybil, which one of you wants to go first?
Minnow can go first, and so I can
Alright.
just hit things from far away.
Alright, Minnow will go.
And then
I mean, I beat most of your initiatives without the +8, so
Womp.
Stop! Don't hold it over my head!
it's
okay.
fine. Now that I said that, I'm gonna roll ones.
God.
No.
Back when I was a ranger, I used to roll high on initiative.
All right. Let's see, to start combat. I was gonna have different music, but I feel like this is good for this sort of thing where you don't know what you're up against yet.
Yes.
These things don't seem to notice you. Okay, Clive, you're up.
Okay. Clive is gonna mosey forward a few steps towards these two trees here. And can you get a better look at like what these things are?
You can make a perception check.
I will make a perception check.
They look humanoid in shape, though they continue to move on all fours. They move erratically.
Are they ghouls?
You can't tell.
All right. Well, just in case, Clive's gonna use his. Actually, no, I'll save it. That'll be Clive's turn. He'll move Boon like right.
Okay. Maria.
She is gonna scoot forward just a teensy bit and also have a perception.
Okay.
I can't interact with her for some reason.
Oh, that would explain. There you go.
Aha.
Were you able to see anything either?
Yeah, I could see it. It was just dimmed.
Okay, yeah, it should be dim, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why did I moved Sybil and then she just moved slightly off her square. She just had a slip.
She's so ready.
14.
Yeah, you see that they are humanoid. They look like they could be human.
Okay.
And they're on all fours, skittering with there's nothing smooth to their motion. They move kind of like spiders.
Gross.
Ooh.
Okay. Don't like that.
Is that your turn?
Yep, that's it.
All right, Navori.
Navori freaking hates it. She's gonna come over here and does Cass look like she's gonna do a thing? Does she look like she's gonna try to, like she's looking around, or does she have that look like I'm just gonna smash people?
That is exactly what she looks like.
The latter?
It's time to
She-
smash.
She is in the currently getting the feel of her weapon in one hand and adjusting her shield, and she looks like she's gonna run right in there and get their attention.
Okay,
That's what she does.
for now, Navori's going to just sort of put a hand on Kess's shoulder or arm or whatever she can reach. And she's gonna use guidance. So,
What does that do?
once before the spell ends, the target can roll a d4 and add the number rolled to one ability check of its choice. You can roll the die before or after making the ability check.
You said a D10?
Oh, wow, a d4, I'm sorry.
Thanks. Okay.
I was like,
Yeah, I
wait.
was just quietly like, that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, no, I just totally misspoke. I was looking at the thing, but wrong number.
All right,
Not
is that your
D4.
turn?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if she can look around, but she doesn't want to get closer. She's kind of like, I don't really like this. You can see weird skittery things, and that's enough for her to not like it.
All right, Minnow, you're up.
Okay. Minnow is gonna kind of start and run a little bit and keep close to rocks, but she's gonna like try to get a gauge on what things are. They're bad, but she wants to like
How
just
bad?
get
Okay.
how bad is this gonna be that I need to stop.
All right, yeah. Perception.
Okay. Everybody, perception.
And then Kess's turn will come.
Yes. Okay. A 5.
She's like
Just
our
like everyone else is allowed to be cautious, but not me.
Kess is our metronome. When she goes, battle starts.
Yeah.
Minnow, this sucks. All right, is that your turn?
Yes, and she
Alright.
has hers.
Hmm?
She has her Naginata withdrawn.
Okay, yeah. Sybil.
Wow, there's so many things I want to do. Goodness gracious. Okay, I think I know what I'm gonna do. I think I know. Sybil moseys on closer to Nave and says, "Hey, you
Yeah.
want to do something that I think you'll enjoy, and I also think will keep you safe during this fight."
What? Wait, oh,
It's gonna be a fight. Let's be real.
yeah. Namori kind of glances over at Cass, like she already knew, but she doesn't like it.
All right, well, just trust me. And Sybil plucks the feather out from her hair and kind of kind of rolls her wrist and whisks it up, and the feather brushes up Nave's arm, and through the upward flick, she kind of gets hoisted up in the air, and Sybil casts Fly.
Oh shit.
Nice.
I think that doubles
Cool.
the walking speed, so you can go. Do we go 30 or 60 feet normally?
60 feet fly.
Wait,
Yeah.
fly so she can fly now?
Yeah.
Damn. She's like stupidly excited. You have no idea.
Emphasis on stupidly.
Yeah, you don't get to walk faster. You just fly up to.
Yeah, no, I just mean
Sick.
it doubles like your movement speed.
Oh,
Her
yeah,
stupid
right?
little baby wings now will work.
yeah.
They're just a flitter
Which,
in.
by the way, Nave, as your wings kind of stretch out a little bit, there's a strange tightness. It feels like wounds opening. There's no like blood, but it's very uncomfortable.
Oh.
Yeah, she doesn't. I mean, part of her feels like that checks out. The other, she doesn't think it's weird. But then again, I mean, she hasn't used her wings for, like, quote unquote, flying for ages. So she doesn't really think much about it.
Yeah.
Even though it's not that at all.
All right, Sybil, is that your turn?
Yeah.
Nibori
Cass.
kind of gasps. She's like,
There's the measurement.
Oh yeah.
Alright.
That guy's done.
So, yeah. So, Kess is at one moment where she is, and then she takes a step, and kind of just suddenly she's all the way like over here.
What'd you
And-
use?
Misty step.
that's fine.
Okay. Just making sure.
and then she's like, her momentum just kind of continues, and
Oh no.
she carries herself all the way over here. And what's in
Right.
front of her now? And she's making a lot of noise. Like there's no way to not make a lot of noise. Yes, when she's
You kept talking almost long enough for.
Damn.
It is a humanoid crawling around on all fours. It turns to look at you when you approach, and you see what might have once been a human face has now been drawn in tight and close. The flesh was vacuum sucked in against the skull.
Whoa.
There are large fangs where its teeth once were. Just 4 big fangs with a bunch of little needle-like teeth inside of its maw. And where its eyes should be are just empty sockets.
Hmm.
It looks at you and hisses. Or doesn't look at you so much as it turns to you and hisses. And the other one turns to you and hisses.
You know, that's all she really needed to be encouraged. Just smack it right in the face.
Okay.
Oh god.
All right. So she's still using it one-handed for now. She gets 2 attacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Get extra attack when you take your attack action.
I love it.
Yeah, that hits. And so does that.
Oh. Well.
Okay. Still, not bad. Alright,
She
yeah,
smacks it twice.
Yeah, you bring your hammer down without any care and just whack, whack. And the first hit just jerks its head to the side, and then you come back the other side and do it to its face again. And a few teeth come loose, and it staggers and takes a halting skitter back. 5. It's your turn.
Alright, well, stealth's over, so Clive he's gonna back Kess up and take some shots at that ghoul.
Alright. First one hits, second one miss. Okay, nice.
Pew pew.
Yeah, 2 crossbow bolts go flying out of the crossbow. The first one strikes, and it strikes with such a force it practically drives this thing flat to the ground. The other bolt goes wide. With its neighbor kind of pinned to the ground for the moment, this one is going to go, and it's gonna skitter up to you, Kess, and take a leaping swipe at you. And that is a 15 to hit.
Nope.
All right.
Smacks it with her shield.
All right. The other one picks itself up off the ground, kind of staggers, but not able to get any farther than just trying to take a bite at you. That is a 18 to hit.
Yes.
All right. D6. You take 9 points of piercing damage as fangs sink into your arm,
Okay.
and it's almost like it's not going to let go, but it does as you shake it free.
Sybil, being a drama queen, feels Kess's life flash before her eyes.
The creatures in the tree and near it all turn at the sound of combat starting, and all hiss, and you hear just this unholy racket of hissing come up, just and you see more of them start climbing
Oh, dear.
through the tree.
Ugh.
God.
Let's hope these things disintegrate fast.
And they come down a little bit. Kind of, it's like a small waterfall almost.
Jesus.
All right, Maria, you're up.
Shootings. Just
What
gonna,
did we get ourselves into?
Pain.
just gonna use both guns.
All right.
Oh,
As a
please.
miss.
Oh
Jesus.
no!
God.
That's a hit.
She's not used to the new one.
Yep. What am I doing? Yeah, that's a hit.
Oh, the second one's a hit?
Yeah, you matched.
Ah, sweet. Okay.
I think that's what it. Yeah.
4.
Yeah, the shot cracks out, and which one did you hit? The one in front of Cass?
Yes.
All right, it dies.
Oh,
Hooray.
Correct.
The bullet goes through it, and the sound seems to make the rest of them cower momentarily, and this one just lets out this hissing squeal as it goes flying back, landing on its back with legs curling in.
You. Like a spider.
Navori.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Navori's absolutely gonna freaking fly over there, and you know, it seems like she actually knows how to fly. She's not floundering or anything. It's kind of like, you know, when you haven't ridden a bike for a while, maybe it's a little wobbly, but then you're fine. And that's exactly how it seems for her.
She knew.
Yeah, she knew. She's like super excited about it though, but this is kind of weirding her out. So what she does is she's flying above Cass right now.
Mhm.
And she goes down just enough to do Word of Radiance on this fucker.
All right.
Let's see. So make Constitution saving throw.
11.
Nope, failure. All right.
All right.
So level
6.
it's a cantrip, so 2d6 rage.
Yep.
Whole 10.
Nice. Okay.
hell yeah.
And then Navori flies back up in the air because she
yeah.
doesn't want to get this thing near her.
Cass, a word that you recognize as holy. It doesn't really make sense, but you understand the power behind it. Leaves Navori, and there's this like burning sound coming from the ghoul nearby. There's no flame, but it burns.
Kiss
Minnow.
nods approvingly.
Okay, Minnow is gonna get closer to and like
Oh,
gonna
gosh.
take in the surroundings more. What?
Nothing.
Okay. Just gonna take in her surroundings a little more and prepare for what's coming.
Okay.
Make sure. Like, is there any way she could use like trees to her advantage? Or...
Okay. Make a perception check.
Okay. That. And... 7.
Oh.
Well, you don't need to look too hard. Using your kind of general knowledge of battlefields, that these things, despite moving as they do, look like they would have trouble moving through trees more than they would across land. So trees can be advantageous.
Okay. Well, that's what
Um,
she'll do for her turn then.
All right, Sybil.
Sybil is gonna hit that son of a bitch next to Cass and Navori with an Eldritch Blast.
All right, blast
Okay. it. 18.
That hits.
Okay, let me remember how much of the Eldritch Blast he gets hit with. Is this many? All 5!
Wow.
God.
Yeah.
When you roll a 1.
Yeah, the rolls tonight.
There's actually like a little green spark that happens from the tip of your blade, as if like you have to rev it up, or it's almost as if it doesn't really want to come out briefly.
Oh.
and then it fires off and collides with the creature.
Sybil feels incredibly disappointed in her lack of performance and decides to move closer.
Kess.
Well, all right. How many are in the trees? Like, how many are we talking?
You can currently see 5 near you.
5. Well, she's gonna smack the one beside her.
She doesn't even look at it as she's looking towards the ones in the trees.
Yeah.
Just slap it with the hammer.
That's a hit.
Fine.
That's a hit.
Oof.
$17.
Okay, yeah, that you smushed it.
Ew.
You basically whap, and the second hit just smushes its head in. But
Gross.
when you smush its head, it just kind of lets out like this gout of dust.
Ew.
And
I
before
was
you can
gonna
go,
lose my mind if you rolled a 1 too.
these are going to start pouring forth.
Oh
Oh,
boy.
I was gonna move towards the.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, she moves up here.
Okay.
And she
these-
bangs her hammer on her shield a little bit to get their attention.
These start coming. Actually, this one is going to lunge for you, Minnow.
Oh no.
Oh, they're coming from those trees. I thought.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wait.
Um,
I wasn't scroll down. Hang on.
She moves towards the other tree.
Other trees.
19?
That hits.
You take...
Here.
Only take 6 or 8 points of piercing damage as this thing lunges at you, and you lift your arm, or you swing around to try and block it, but its teeth catch your arm, and it just tears out a small chunk.
Ooh.
Ew.
And there's like a gurgling, hissing sound as if it's pleased.
Jesus.
It likes sashimi.
The sushi. Loves Japan.
Actually,
period.
Kess, you also got an
Stop.
opportunity attack.
Oh.
On the one that lunged at Minnow.
It starts.
Yeah.
They
Well,
are
I mean,
in
yeah,
that
we
case,
have a
no.
sushi worker now. Right, yeah, that hits.
Sweet.
Okay. You brought your hammer around as it lunged at Minnow. Clipped it, not enough to disturb its lunge.
But now it's
Why?
dealing with her.
Yeah. Clive.
Clive. All right. Let's see. Clive. Actually, what was that? Hang on one second.
Use some explodey arrows on those conveniently grouped together enemies.
Yeah, that's my next move too.
It's almost like
Yeah.
that's my plan.
Yeah, Boris
Clive's
go
gonna
for
use his
blow
bonus
up
at-
too.
To
By the
cast
way-
Hail of Thorns.
Alright.
Fine.
Mario, did you set your gun to an element, by the way?
If she had time to, she would have, probably.
Yeah. Yeah, you would have had time to, while
Clive's
coming this way.
Okay, she would have picked fire.
Okay.
He's gonna fire at that one in that group of 3 in the middle.
Alright. They both hit.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah.
Alright, I'll roll the weapon damage on the main one first.
Okay.
And then all of them have to make dex saving throws.
Alright, we got a 13, a 1, and a 16.
16 passes, the other 2 fail.
Okay, roll me that 1d10. Alright, so let's see. This one took a bunch of damage. What's that? Let's see, actually, this center one just fucking got splatted.
Get wrecked.
This one, okay, cool. Yeah, Clive's arrow or arrows come arcing down, and the first one hits, and the second one hits and just explodes into a hail of thorns. Splatting one of them and then covering the other two in small wounds that bleed this Icarus white fluid.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Ew.
Maria.
Okay. She's gonna shuffle forward a couple of steps, and she's gonna.
Alright. She's gonna bursting shot.
Yeah.
Alright. What do I have to do for that? That's a hit. That's a hit.
Okay, and then let's see here. Oh, everybody within 10 feet takes 2d6 force damage.
Okay. So roll
Weapon damage first? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that's 13.
Yep.
And then there's the bursting damage 4.
All right, this one gets splatted. The gunshots 2 ring out, just and blow the head clean off of this other one. Maria, you instinctually double tap the head. And then Minnow and Kess, you guys actually feel this breeze come off as you hear this. As like a shockwave of force emanates from its death.
Eyebrows are rising behind Cass's helmet.
All right, Nevori.
Okay, well, now that those have been exploded, Navori's gonna. Let me see how far this. Alrighty, perfect. She's gonna go over here. She flies. She
Fly,
comes
my
down.
pretty.
Yeah, she comes down just long enough so she could use another word of radiance on both of these guys.
All right, both.
Yup. So con saves for both.
Oh yeah, wow, look at that. That's cool. That's a fail. That's a fail. A 2 and a 3.
Nice. Alright, so. Let's see.
I have the page up for Word of Radiance just to see, and there's an ad on. There's an ad on this page that I'm just gonna link you guys
Oh gosh.
real quick.
Oh.
I'm scared.
Yeah.
What the
Yodeling? Yodeling?
Yeah, enjoy that at almost one.
What the shit?
Alright.
Perfect.
So
Yeah, she does that and she flies up in the air, so she's out.
Okay. Yeah, once more, Kess, you hear that holy word, and but you don't really know what you just heard. And there's that as their flesh burns. Minnow, you're up.
Okay, she's gonna opportunity to do some swings at the one right in front of her that took a chunk out of her.
All right.
So for that double attack, do I just roll?
Yeah, roll 2 attacks.
Okay. 13.
That's a hit.
17.
That's a hit.
Cool. Oh, that's off my history. Sorry. 13.
Phew, nice.
And 7.
All right, you spin your naginata around, cut almost bisects the thing, and you bring the other one down and you just slash it in half.
Yep.
Murder. It's probably gross.
I thought of Samurai Jack for some reason.
Yeah, that Icarus white fluid seeps out and just kind of lays on the ground in this gross, gelatinous-looking puddle.
Yeah.
Sybil.
Okay, Sybil's gonna hold her sword in 2 hands this time. Because I haven't used Green Flame Blade in a while, so she's gonna do that. But, like, first she's gotta, hit it the old-fashioned way.
Yep.
25.
That hits.
And then this much, and then 1d8, because I like to be
Jesus.
gratuitous.
flame indeed.
Spell that.
Yeah, Sybil, a green flame flickers to life across your blade as you just slash through this thing. And thankfully, the flame cauterizes whatever was going to seep forth that gross blood, because this would have been a squirter.
Oh god.
Oh god.
Noodling pickle.
Yep.
Sybil likes to stay as far away from anything that reminds her of semen as possible, so she feels pretty pleased with the cauterization personally.
You just made this worse somehow.
You call it the white blood, like,
Cass, you're up.
goopy?
Cass is gonna step into the space that Navoria is not in.
Yeah, it's like 20 feet above Cass right now.
And she is going to attack the remaining dead.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh, that's a
Oh, wait.
mess.
Can I add that bonus to attack rolls?
Oh, the guidance? I know.
Yeah.
Let me look.
No, because that would be
That's
bless.
ability check.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
that made
that one's a hit. Double it or extra attack.
Oh, wait,
Extra attack.
damn, like one
Doink.
damage.
Okay. Yeah, you clip it and almost take one of its arms off as it turns its eyeless face to look at you with a.
It's fine.
Cass hisses back at it.
Clive.
Clive. Well, he's gonna shoot at that last one next to Navori.
Okay.
Oh, whoops.
Oh my
just-
Nailed
That's a
it.
D10.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Whoops.
That's a lot better.
Little. Those both hit, right?
Yeah, those both hit, and that kills it. 2 crossbow bolts twang out of the crossbow and pin this thing to the ground, hitting almost at the same time. Just and you hear more hissing noises coming from the large tree, but you also hear the sound of skittering legs moving down the bark and vanishing underneath the tree.
Oof.
And that's where we're going to pick up the next time we play.
Jesus.
Oh boy.
Golly.
Boy.
See you next weekend. Paranormal
Bye-bye.
Pandemic Internet.
I
Yeah.
mean, we might not.
Or yeah, we might not. We'll see. We'll have
see.
fun
We'll
with
play
it.
it by ear.
Yeah.
Kyle will also be here, so.
Alright, maybe we'll do something goofy.
And we can still I can play up there, whatever. we wanna
Yeah.
do.
Alright, see you guys later, Internet.
Bye.